French, English, and Portuguese, is designed to make sure that Africans on the continent, in the villages and the hamlets and the towns, do not have access to their rights. They will not be able to exercise their rights. And that is why you are seeing youths like you see on the picture behind me. That is why you're seeing them going to the Mediterranean. They don't know their rights. We are here to enlighten you, and we are here to learn together. We need to learn and know what has been done. I am encouraging everybody to get to know your constitution. Ask yourself this question. Why is it that the church does not want you to question anything? The church doesn't want you to question what is being used to govern you. The church and the mosque only want you to pray. They want you to pray to be able to accept whatever the government, the constitutional, the colonials have imposed upon you. We have to say this. I don't mean to offend your religion, whatever religion yourself, be it Christianity or Islam. I'm not here to offend you. But if you do not know your rights before the religion, then it is only there for one purpose: to distract you from ever exercising your sovereignty. Though that is what those religions are there for. That is why you will hear people will pray. Listen. People will pray. I've done it. People will pray. May my journey go well. May I be able to get across successfully. May I be able to get a better life when I get to the other side. I've done it. Well, how about us knowing our rights first on the African continent? The pastors and the imams are there to purely deceive you. You have a right as an African. Every African is a sovereign. Every African is a sovereign. You have the right to know your rights. You have the power to hold your government to account. But because it is written in French language, in English, and in Portuguese, we never get to exercise that right. And that's what we're trying to, get us all to begin to understand. We've been lulled into a sense of, oh, by the way, you can do this, you can, it's okay. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about your sovereignty. Just pray and all your prayers will be answered. That's pie in the sky stuff. That's pie in the sky. You need to know your rights. You should be teaching children. As soon as children are able to speak from the age of 4, you should start teaching them about their rights as sovereigns, letting them know that they are sovereigns. The land that they walk on, they have control over it, and they can indeed hold their government to account. We haven't been taught this on the African continent, but they teach you to fear God. They teach you to fear Allah. They teach you to fear all of those things. But the powers you need to hold your government to account, they never teach you. And it's designed that way. Before the colonials came, our ancestors made us know we are living in kingdoms. They created kingdoms. The Ghana kingdom, Ashanti kingdom, Oyo Empire, Songhai Empire, Dahomey, the Dogon Empire, the Mali Empire, Kush, so many empires. The Zimbabwean Empire is called a different name. I can't remember the exact name. There are so many things that has been hidden from you and I. But when they saw the riches that we had, they wanted to make sure that going forward, we will never ever be able to exercise our sovereignty on our own land. That is why they gave you the religion. Firstly, Islam came. Islam came in the 7th century after they saw the wealth that Mansa Musa brought to Mecca. Listen. We have been fooled long enough. It's not about getting angry now. We need to take action. We need to take action to stop our youth dying in the Mediterranean. I know of a number of people that have died in the Mediterranean because they were out seeking a better life, not knowing that if they exercise their sovereignty on their continent, the better life will be there for them. They will be able to reach their true potential on the African continent. Please join us in this struggle. Help us subscribe, reach more people, share this information. What we need to do is to continue to encourage our people to know their rights in their local language. You must know your rights in your local language. Very, very important. We have been lied to long enough. It is time we wake up. It is time we begin to actually take control. The lies that we've been told, and we've been deceived. We've been deceived for so long that we need to wake up. And the only way we can wake up is by learning the Constitution in our local language. Let me give you an example. I'll do it again. In the Nigerian Constitution, it states, section 14.2a. Please share this broadcast as you're getting it. Share. And I do hope we can reach as many people as possible. We need your support. Continue to share. It is very important we get that message out there. Let me just quickly do something here. I'm trying to get a platform up and running, and it's giving me a problem, but please do share. Tap the screen as you're coming in. Share. I'll give you an example. Meanwhile, in the Nigerian Constitution, under section 14.2a, it states, and I quote, "Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority." I'm going to read that again, and I'll read it in Yoruba directly after. Section 14.2a states, in the Nigerian Constitution, it is written in English. Now, over 211 million Nigerians don't speak English. Well, out of 211 million, I don't think 5 million are speaking good English to understand the Constitution. Do you follow what I mean? Out of 211 million Nigerians, estimated, barely 5 million, 5 to 10 million tops, can speak English or understand English. So when they are telling you your constitutional rights in a foreign language, they are keeping away over 90%, 95% of the population from exercising their rights as sovereigns in their land, because they don't understand what the language of the Constitution is. And when they tell them to go and learn the language, by the time they start to learn the language, they have whatever they wanted to stop has already happened. This is a system. This is a systemic plan to keep Africa enslaved. Plain fact. If you know the Bible and you know the Quran, but you don't know your constitutional right, I'm afraid you have been fooled. We have all been fooled. And that is why we have the problems that we have on the African continent. Many of us, the religion conditions you. I'm saying this unapologetically. The religions of Islam and Christianity conditions you to accept the injustice of you being stripped of your own constitutional right as a sovereign. Do you understand what I'm saying? I hope you understand what I'm saying. The religions of Islam and Christianity on the African soil makes sure that you, through the conditioning of the religion, accept the injustice of not being able to exercise your sovereignty on your own land. The Constitution is about making sure that you never exercise your right as a sovereign. That is why it is written in English. It is written in French. It is written in Portuguese on the African continent, where we speak our own language. You have to go and learn a book in English, in French, in Portuguese before you know your rights. In a land of 1.4 billion people, we have to wake up. We need to wake up. We must know our rights. Thank you very much for the gift. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for the gift. If I'm not replying quickly, it's taking me time. Franco Wachi, thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate you. Let me just say a big thank you there, Franco Wachi. Thanks. So, please share the broadcast. This is a message that relates to every African. This is not just a. This is no longer about I'm Yoruba, I'm Nigerian, I'm Kenyan. We are all impacted. So let me just get this light away just to make sure it's bright. And I didn't realize, so it's changed somewhat. I've just changed the light settings, and it's doing something different, but it's okay. Okay, I'll get something more. I think. Okay, yeah, we're getting somewhere there, somewhat. So do bear with me. So, what we need to do, first of all, oh Saint Rose, thank you very much. Thank you so much. Please share and share. I appreciate you. This message is for all Africans on the African continent. If you are burying your head in the Bible and the Quran, but you do not know your rights, I'm afraid you have been fooled. We have all been fooled. We have all been fooled. We need to wake up. We have to what? We have to wake up. The time is now. Send this message out, and we need you to join us in this struggle. Tap, 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 and share. And please subscribe to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. We have to reach as many more people as possible. We need your support. We have to grow this platform. We have a lot of work to do. Like I said, we have to translate 55 constitutions written in English, in French, and Portuguese. Because in those languages, the people in those nations don't know that they are sovereigns. But when we translate it into their local language, like I said, again, the Nigerian Constitution, Section 14(2)(a), sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. Section 14(2)(a). I'll say that again. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives its powers and authority. What we are trying to do here is to make you aware of your rights. Now, what does that mean in Yoruba language, for example? Thank you very much for the likes. Keep continuing to like and subscribe and share. Thank you very much. What does that mean in Yoruba? I'll read it to you one more time. Section 14(2)(a) in the Nigerian Constitution. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. 14(2)(a). Now, in Yoruba language, the straight translation from that English constitution into Yoruba language. Listen, you may not understand, but I'm telling you, every single word that I'm going to use is purely African, purely Yoruba, for the people in the community of the Yorubas to understand their rights in their language. Let's go. It goes like this. Ìjọba jẹ́ ti àwọn ènìyàn Nàìjíríà láti ọ̀dọ̀ ẹni tíjọba nípasẹ̀ òfin orílẹ̀-èdè nígbà gbogbo agbára àti àṣẹ rẹ̀. Very, very important. I'm going to bring in one or two people here, and we might bring other people on as well later on. So I've got Vanna, I've got Peace Africa Hope. Thank you. I'm running late, but it's very important. So I'm going to read that to you again. A straight translation from English into Yoruba. Now I want you to imagine that in your language. What I just said about sovereignty, whether you are from Ghana, whether you're from Kenya, whether you're from Gambia, whether you're from Congo, not the C. We say Congo with a K. We have to get this right. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit. I just want us to wake up. So, sorry. Yeah. Hi, Verna. Hi, welcome. So I'm just supercharged on this. We need to wake up. Now, I'm gonna read to you the question, the section again in Yoruba, the Yoruba version of the sovereignty that we possess. 14(2)(a) abala kẹrin láìsẹ̀ kejì a. Ìjọba jẹ́ ti àwọn ènìyàn Nàìjíríà láti ọ̀dọ̀ ẹni tí ìjọba nípasẹ̀ òfin orílẹ̀-èdè nígbà gbogbo agbára àti àṣẹ rẹ̀. Every single word I said there is in Yoruba language. You see what that tells you? They are hiding that information from you. Anytime somebody tells you to learn another language about your rights, it means they are simply doing one thing: to keep the information that you need to be able to participate in your governance, to keep it from you. And when they keep that from you, they put the Bible and the Quran in your hand. And that is designed to make you accept the injustice of not knowing your constitution in your local language. This is happening across the whole of Africa, not just Nigeria. So anybody who speaks Igbo, I would like you to translate that constitution as well. I've done the translation, but I can't say it here. So if you speak Hausa, likewise. If you speak Ghana, you are from Africa and from Ghana, your constitution has you have the sovereignty in there. Again, you translate it into your local languages. You need to, what we are doing is to empower our communities to know that they're sovereigns, and then we teach them how to use the sovereignty to get control of their governance. Very important. To stop our youth dying in the Mediterranean, we need to take these steps. To stop our youth dying in the Mediterranean, we must take the steps to stop the brain drain. Sorry, let me just do this 1 second. Okay, that'll be fine. So I've got a fan on because I'm a little bit steamed up. Now, it is very important. Any country you care to mention on the African continent, right now, you are being governed by the constitution written by the colonizers. I want you to think about that for a second. So if somebody wants me to invite them, I'll bring on two more people. Then Angelica, Shiba, I'll invite you as well. Let me quickly do something. I will follow as many of you as I can, and please do follow me as well. And please, of course, give us Queen Nakwan. Thank you very much. And I greet everybody. Please continue to tap and share the broadcast. This information is relevant to all Africans across the African planet and African continent, because all of us, we've been lied to. Tap, 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 share. Also, subscribe. We need people to join us in this struggle in every country. We need people that will be willing to work to translate that constitution into their language and to work within the communities. We're looking for stakeholders in every single community. That is the best way we can defeat white supremacy. Because the colonization is nothing but white supremacy. The constitutions written in all 55 nations is nothing but white supremacy. You know why I'm saying white? I can't say that proper word because it will be brought down. But that's the fact. Once you understand that, anything else that they put in front of you, the religions of Islam and Christianity is a smokescreen. In the Arabic-speaking countries on the African continent, their constitution is written in what? It will be written in Arabic. Why can't it be written in our own language? It makes it easier for those who are controlling us by colonization to control what we can do to counter colonization. This is very important that we understand that. Very, very important. Now, I read to you section 14.2a in English and 14.2, and then I read it in Yoruba. Now, I'm going to read 14.2c in English, again into Yoruba, and I want you to imagine this in your own language. I'm going to seek out the French, the Ghanaian constitution and read that to you briefly because I have a copy of it somewhere. What I'm trying to do is source as many of the constitutions I will put in on my website. For those of you who are Nigerians, you can go to my website, www.citizenay.org, and on there you will see the constitution in English and in Yoruba language. We are trying to source the ones in Igbo language, in Hausa language, and the Nok language, or the Middle Beltan languages, Efik, Ishon, and Edo, and all of that. Because we need to translate that constitution right across the whole of Africa. That is the key to free Africa. Because once we know what is in the constitution in our local languages, we can't be fooled anymore. We cannot be fooled anymore. There will be no need. Knowing English or speaking English like I'm speaking, is not a sign of intelligence. No. Our people are far more advanced thinking than any of those languages of English or French or Portuguese. They are just languages. That's all they are. The real understanding of your rights is something that you can comprehend without speaking any of those foreign languages. You can comprehend your rights in your local language. That's the point we're making here. Please share the broadcast. Tap, 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 share, subscribe, hit the notification button. Now, Section 14.2c states in Yoruba language, the participation by the, in English language, the participation by the people in their government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. I'll read it to you again one more time. 14.2c of the Nigerian constitution, specifically to Nigeria, but I want you to imagine that this is what they've done across all of the countries, all 55 countries. Now, if you hear the words, the participation by the people in their government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this constitution, what does that tell you? Anybody that's reading that and doesn't speak English, they'll be bamboozled by those words. That's the point. The constitution is being made difficult for people to access. And when you access it, for you to understand it, you need to get dictionary. You need to know the meanings behind the words. You need to know all this. Let me give an example again. Now, the Bible is translated into local languages. Listen, please listen. The Bible is translated already into local languages. You can get the Bible, the King James Version Bible, you can get it in Yoruba language. You can get it in Hausa. You can get it in Igbo. You can get it in most of the languages in Africa. There is no place you will not get the Bible in your local language. But the information that you need to hold your government to account across the whole of Africa has not been translated. I want you to think deeply about that. The information that you need to take control on the African continent and hold your government to account has not been translated. And they're doing everything to make you not have that power. They're trying to occupy your mind so that when you even have the information before you, you are no longer interested. They are taking your mind away with the religions of Islam and Christianity. I don't mean to be offensive, but that's the fact. And what they do is the religion, instead of you getting curious to know what's in your constitution, they condition you to accept the injustice of not knowing your constitution in your language and standing up for your rights. Are you following what I'm saying? I hope this makes sense. And that's very important to state. 1 second, please. So I want you to consider that. So 14.2c states, I'll pause for a few minutes and I'll let Bernard chip in and I'll bring in Peace Africa Hope. Now, 14.2c, I'm going to say it one more time. The participation by the people in the government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. All that is English. But to Africans, it makes everything look, oh, that's the law. I don't understand it. I have to accept whatever they tell me. That's conditioning. They are conditioning you to accept that you don't know, and you have to accept what they tell you. That is trying to trick you and use that to take away your rights to your land. Look, let us understand something. Sovereignty and the Constitution is about your land. The Constitution that's been written for Africans by those colonials is designed to separate the people from the land. We need to understand this. All the 55 constitutions written on the African continent and imposed on the Africans by those who created the so-called nations at the Berlin Conference is designed to separate we, the African people, from our land. And they have control. And that is what is happening. So if you continue to follow the Bible and the Quran and you do not take this message on, you are never going to have health care on your community. You will never have good roads. You will never have water. You will never have light, because the controls that you need has been taken away from you. And what is worse is you've been conditioned through these religions of Islam and Christianity to accept the injustice. We have to wake up. We gotta wake up. So now I'm going to now say that 14.2a again, and now I'll say it in Yoruba. And I'll be making a point again. I need also to understand that. And I want you to be, in your mind, get curious about whatever constitution, whatever language is written. French, English, Portuguese, whatever language is written. Make sure that you start translating key sections of it, like I'm doing. So, now one more time. Section 14.2c. The participation by the people in the government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. Now, straight translation into Yoruba language. Listen, you may not understand the language, but I want you to imagine you hearing your own constitution in your own language. I need you to imagine that. You have to manifest what I'm saying. You must manifest it to life because we need to take action. So when you are hearing what I'm saying, if you don't understand it, that's fine. But I want you to picture you hearing the constitution of your own country in your own language. Are we clear on that? Okay, let's go forward. 14.2c abala kẹrìnlá ẹsẹ̀ kejì sí ìkópa àwọn ènìyàn nínú ìjọba wọn gbọ́dọ̀ rí dájú ní ìbámu pẹ̀lú àwọn òfin orílẹ̀-èdè yìí. One more time, I'll say it. Ìkópa àwọn ènìyàn nínú ìjọba wọn gbọ́dọ̀ rí dájú ní ìbámu pẹ̀lú àwọn òfin orílẹ̀-èdè yìí. Now you see that there is not one word of English in what I've said, and it applies to us as sovereigns. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I need you to understand that you can learn your own constitution in your own language, and it will empower you to hold your governors to account without speaking a foreign language. Let me pause there. Vanna, welcome on board. Let's hear from you, and then I'll bring on my brother, Peace African Hope. Vanna, welcome on board. Thank you very much for joining again. Let's hear from you. Hi there, Vanna. Vanna, can you hear me? Vanna, are you there? Ah, thank you. Go ahead. Hi. Yeah, go ahead. Hello.
Oh, wonderful. You're on fire.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. We got to get the people together. They have to be aware now is the time to move. Now it's our time to move. Everything is going on outside.
Mm-hmm.
Rise now. But we can only do it using the right tools.
That's correct.
And the right tools what this time is the Constitution.
Yeah.
That we claim the rights that we have there.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We can't go with empty hands. We can go with something that they will have to pay attention to.
Yep.
Because it's our inalienable
Right. That's correct. That's correct. Absolutely right. Thank you so much for that. And I hope many people are listening on. And Verna is a very, very dear friend, somebody that we really, admire a lot. And she's somebody that we really, she's been the real foundation for what we're doing here. She encouraged us to all, myself and Prince and Problem Solving Coach, to really step out and actually take this project on, not talk about it. And so when we talk about this, let's be very clear, we are going to need funding, support. We need your active support in joining in this struggle. She will be mentioning that to us time and over time and time again. And myself will also do the same thing. We need to support ourselves. This is the best way we can free Africa, because Africa is not free. Those constitutions are designed to enslave us in our own land. We must free ourselves. Thank you very much, Vanna. Let me bring in my brother, Peace African Hope. Peace African Hope, let's hear from you. Then I'll bring in one or two more speakers who would like to speak. Thank you very much. So, okay. Go ahead, Peace African Hope. Can you hear me? Thank you, my brother. Go ahead.
I can hear you. I can hear you. Thank you so much. How are you doing?
Good. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, my brother. Great.
I must say good morning. Good morning. It's already morning now.
Yes, it's morning. Yes. Go ahead.
Happy that we are following. I'm happy that we are following up where we stopped, and I rested a bit so that
Yes.
I can pick up really.
Yes.
So I was keep on scrolling to see when you're going to be live.
Yes.
Yes. About the Constitution, I'm happy. I'm happy so well, and I'm really, each day that goes by, I see glory coming to us and victory coming.
Ashe.
Because the more we do this, the more change that is happening in the world.
Mm-hmm.
In Africa now, everyone is looking at a way of adopting applications of the Constitution. This is after we started, generally. I started right before you.
You did.
Yeah, but I'm so happy that by the time I got to know you, the same trend you were taking, and the rest of the team, I see where we are heading. It is really, I can see a new revolution in Africa waking up, whereby we have to hold our puppet governments to accountability.
Indeed.
Currently, what I would say to that is that, you know, our
Oh, okay. The network. He'll be back. He'll be back. Just bear with me. He'll be back. Go ahead.
being,
Yeah.
can
Go ahead.
you hear?
I can hear you now. Yes. Go ahead. Oh, network. He'll be back. Others, if you want to chip in, let's hear from you. I'll bring him back in. I'll bring in, and I'll bring Yaz, of course. Milligrad. I'll ask anybody that I see, if you want to come in and you want to be part of the discussions, just throw me an invite, and I'd like to hear from you. So, like I was saying, whilst we're waiting for, okay, he's coming back. He's coming back. So he'll be back in a minute. Please, thank you very much. Welcome back. Welcome back. Carry on. Carry on. We can hear you now.
Yes. Yeah, the network is, I'm sorry, the network is not good,
Yes.
but you know the region where I am.
I
It is
know.
what it is there.
Yes.
So, our national motto is Pix Justice Travel. So, it is mainly justice, work, and peace. Yes? So, now, the Constitution is mainly meant to be around the motion
Yeah.
of the country.
Exactly.
Justice, peace, and work.
Yes.
But now, this was just a sugar coating to everyone, because if you're to see on, I'm talking on the side of DRC,
Yes.
the national anthem that was a motivational national anthem was changed. Le Zaïroise. If you to go back and listen to this, Zaïrois do la perle trouvé, perle bénie, nous sommes Zaïrois. So that one was changed. Now they have debout congolais, eni par le sol, eni dans le peuple indépendant. Now you see, the original national anthem has everything that an African needs for motivation. As it was. But then when it came in, it was changed. This undermined the old constitution. This undermined the development. This protected sovereignty of the colonialists, the work they left behind. And in this case, this was generally to protect the CIA in the USA and Belgium. So the Constitution now, when we interpret it in our words, I'm sorry to tell you this, but when it comes to interpretation and you understand it, that is in Kinyabwisha, which is, and Kiswahili, because Lingala is not spoken so much where I am. So on the area where where the organization is working, it is Kiswahili and Kinyabwisha. Now, you find that the Constitution does not support the common man at one time.
Okay.
The other thing is, the power that is in the Constitution is really supreme. Talking about how you can be free, equality, you know, generally supporting the primary.
Yeah.
The primary evolutional causes. But when you translate them to the people, you find that the government has abused almost everything of it. Yeah. And then, we as Africans also, reading is not in our culture.
No.
And even at one time, the YT people said, if you want to hide anything from a black man,
put it in a book.
Put it in writing. So, now, we have to develop a culture whereby we teach our people at home, instead of reading these zombie books for them to go to sleep. You know, you can, like a parent, you generate a sleeping song.
Yes.
A kid will learn, wake up in the morning, humming the song, but having main issues of the Constitution. Liberty, fraternity, equality, So now this kid will wake up knowing, even go to school and say, my dad sings for me a song that has liberty, fraternity, and equality. Then the teacher will try to explain to the child more. This child will grow up knowing their rights. I'm trying to say, they will grow up knowing issues and affairs of the country. That is the use of the constitution, whereby a citizen has to understand the power they hold as them, because the people, the citizens, are the ones who make up the government.
Indeed.
Not the people in power,
No.
who are employed by the people who vote them to look after their rights not to be tampered with.
Exactly.
And this is provided by the constitution. However, this is all hidden there, and the way the constitution was written, it should be changed somewhere. But
Yeah.
of course, we don't have that power.
Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah, we don't have that power to change. We can translate them the way they are, give them to the people.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, you teach people the direct way to approach the constitutional understanding.
Yes.
Everyone is entitled to their own understanding.
Yeah.
But the way you explain the constitution to a person may either land them in big trouble or save them from big trouble.
Yes. Yes.
So
very
the
important.
two go together. Otherwise, teaching the constitution is the best thing that I have enjoyed, and I support that, and I'm with you. And let's keep up. And mainly, what I would urge the whole world to stand up for is for the education for development.
Yep.
Not education to get the so-called degrees, PhDs, when they have no use.
Very good point.
Yes?
Very
When
good
they have
point.
no use. We would rather have more engineers, more doctors, you see, more business-oriented people who know about money. This will help on community development, unity, understanding of how the system works. Otherwise, the system we have now, the constitution binds us to a boundary that we cannot step out.
Oh God. Shit. My mind. Oh no. Hang on. Frozen. Okay. Just come back. Don't worry. I got it covered. Don't worry. I'll be back in a minute. Sorry about that. The battery ran out and I didn't think. Ah man. Okay, just take a quotation match right now. So I'm here. Sorry. The battery went down. The battery ran down on my phone, and I didn't realize. So carry on. I'm here. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Yeah. Yeah. Yes, it is. It is. Yeah. Yes. 1 second, please. Give me 1 second. Just trying to take. I'm trying to switch this phone off. The earpiece off. Give me 1 sec. 1 sec. Give me 1 sec. Okay, so Bluetooth on, disconnect. Yeah, that's better. Okay, now good. Yeah, okay, we're back now. So yeah, good, good. Sorry about that. Sorry, apologies to you all. I suddenly lost the power, but we're back now. So you are absolutely right in what you're saying, my brother. We need our people to be aware, and very good suggestions you come up with here. Education is, of course, the way to go. We have to be teaching this. I love the idea of singing the songs to our children in local languages. Let me hear from Vaname. If you have anything to add, would you like to add something more? Go ahead.
Yes. You know, that's what we said. We have a song, or
Yeah, that's correct. We did. We did. Yes.
when
Yes.
the song come out, people are gonna be singing it everywhere
Yeah.
because it's easy to sing. Children sing it, the marketplace, and this would spread like a wildfire.
That's it. That's it.
So once the people start singing and understanding in their language, it's. I mean, it already is flowing so fast.
Yeah, it is. It really
This
is.
is the right thing.
Yeah, it definitely is. No, thank you so much for that. Um, let me see if I can bring others on. If you want to contribute to this discussion, we very much welcome you. Thank you so much. Don't forget to continue to tap and share the broadcast. Um, One of the things that I wanted to read to many people, I want to quickly read to you the Ghanaian constitution in English. Now, I don't know the words in Ghanaian. So if anybody who's a Ghanaian is on here, and you know the words that I'm about to read, because I want you to have an idea that this is not a country specific thing anymore. It's about all of Africa. Let me just see if I can get that one. Ghanaian. Is it there? Yeah. Constitution. Let me see. Just give me 1 second. I'm just trying to find that for you. I do apologize about the picture, loss of the picture in the background, because it went down. I can't quite organize it. I'm gonna fix that next time. So Ghanaian, trying to see if it will come up. I have it in here somewhere, and I know I wrote it. Okay. Okay, one sec, one sec. Let me just do it this way. I need you to have that information because it will make this better, make people understand that it is not only in one country. It's all African countries are going through this. And we want you to know that we all are facing the same problems. Once they have control of what we know, they now control what we do. Once they have control of what we know about our rights, they now control what we do. That is why they put borders across all of the countries to prevent us moving around. And they are the only ones who can move freely in Africa. That is why we have these borders where we cannot trade freely among ourselves, because they have removed our rights. They've removed our rights to our land. And this is what welcome on board, Millie G. My sister, it's great to have you on board. Mobo Wali, Kabo, welcome. Let's hear from you. Great to have you back here on board. Did you get the text I sent to you this morning? Millie G, you there?
No, I don't think I did. Let me see.
It's in
How
the.
did you send it?
I sent it on the. I sent it via TikTok. And it was a little idiom that I sent to you. Um,
I'll check it out after.
okay, it goes like this. I'll just say it now. In Yoruba language, wọ́n ní àgbà kì í wà lọ́jà kórí ọmọ tuntun kó wọ́, which means in English, there's never an elder in a market that will watch whilst the head of a child is contorted or skewed. That's
Wow.
that's
What does that mean in it? What's the meaning of that?
the meaning of that is this: when there's an elder in a community, the elder will normally have sufficient knowledge to impart.
Doctor, you got become mute.
Oh,
You're muted.
oh, okay, hold on, okay, right, sorry, yeah. So when there's an elder in the market or in a marketplace or in a community, that elder has enough wisdom to solve problems, whatever the problem is, because he's been imbibed with the knowledge over the years of their lives, and he's learned from his own elders over time. So it is very, very it's a way of passing down information from one person to the next, and that knowledge allows the person to grow in wisdom. So that's what he's talking
Right.
about there.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So welcome on board.
Um,
So it's you'll see it in the comment box of the
I
TikTok.
spoke to one of the performers about it.
Ye-
She was very excited.
Fantastic, fantastic.
Yes.
So welcome. Now we are talking about the Constitution. As you know,
I'm having network problems here. I just want to let you know that I'm a little
go ahead. Oh,
sorry about that.
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
no, go ahead. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
No, no, you were going to say something. I thought you were going to say something, so I wanted to wait for you. You said you wanted to say something.
No, I said I'm just a little bit distracted because my mom in Jamaica. I'm just trying to get her,
Okay,
and
okay.
there's a storm there, so I'm a
Oh
little bit
yes.
distracted. So no,
Please tell me how is it how is the hurricane? How is that going? Is that are people so safe? Okay.
so both my parents are in Jamaica, and I spoke with my mother about 3 hours ago. I've been trying to get a hold of her. I'm not able to.
Oh,
So I was asking my other siblings if they could check on her.
okay.
So I don't know yet. I said I probably will know later on. I'll let
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sending prayers from our ancestors to protect and guide all our family and friends, and make sure that favorable they have they are protected by the powers of our ancestors, and we are thinking about them and making sure that we want to know as much. There's another friend in Barbados as well who I'm going to try and find out, and we need to get more updates. And in fact, I'll be doing a program about that tomorrow because it's important we cover those areas. So and thanks for bringing that on to our attention as well on this on the program. But I'll let you mute if you want to speak to you. Try and get in touch with your mom, then I'll let you come back. If you need to do that, just let me know. Because I know
I'll
that's
stay on for about 5 minutes, but if I disappear, I'll come back on.
okay. That's fine. Okay, good, good. Okay. So one of the things that we're doing, we are recognizing what is happening in Kenya is why we are raising the alarm. In Kenya, the government is basically trying to strip the people of the right to their land. They're trying to turn it from freehold to leasehold. They've made amendments in the constitution. That's why the Gen Z are really, going against the government because they know that they want the people to own nothing, which is what the World Economic Front has been talking about. You will own nothing and you will be happy about it. And this is the effects of it that you're seeing now in Kenya and will be rolled out to all areas. What we're saying is it is important for the people to have that constitution in their local languages so that they can stand up and say, we are the sovereigns, what we say goes, not what the World Economic Front says or all the colonials that are behind them. So that's I wonder if you wanted to say anything on that front. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
you know that ever since I've been on the platform, I think probably about I don't think less than 3 months.
Yes.
There's something that has ignited in me. With even my family land
Mm-hmm.
back home in Jamaica,
Mm-hmm.
ancestral land.
Mm-hmm.
My great grandparents had about 16 children. My grandfather was one of them,
Mm-hmm.
and what he did, he was a very smart man. He owned a lot of properties, and he divided all of the land amongst these the
The
sons. I
yes.
think I don't know. I think he had two daughters and I think 14 sons. It was like
Mm-hmm.
a lot
Mm.
of sons.
Mm.
And he divided all the land. And when I grew up, all of them were there. Like all of my I remember with my grandfather and my granduncles, they all were around
Mm-hmm.
and all farmed the land, right?
Wow.
However, because of situation, their their children, that would be my uncles and whatever,
Yeah.
they are going to America, right? My dad is the only one who actually stayed.
Stayed.
But I would say, and I'm not exaggerating, 90% of them left and
Hmm.
also sold a lot of the land. So, when I was growing up as a young child, I used to be able to walk across the field and be in everybody related to me. I could do everything. But now, when I go back, I was there last year. I realized that I can't do that anymore because it is sold off. And I think that we don't respect, what our forefathers did for us. And with the land stuff, land is so precious. I have all my great grandparents are buried on the land that we have, and so on. And you don't know how precious it is until it's gone.
Exactly.
And I'm so happy that the young generation, they they have a different type of sensibility than, yeah, I guess, even the generation before them. And they are aware. I don't know if because of TikTok or what it is, but there's a great awakening. I don't know what it is, but they have a better sensibility. I think maybe because I don't know if because their grandparents or parents were educated in the British and the European system,
Yeah.
and so they had this type of reverence for the Europeans and stuff. I don't know if that's the reason,
Mm-hmm.
but no, they like, so they know are, and I have been watching it. They have a respect and love for their country
Mm-hmm.
more so than I think that generation before. You know what I mean? Because they're not going to let their land go like that.
No.
And because whenever, I listen to my fellow Africans, they speak, even Namibia, they were saying like probably 60% of the land is owned by Europeans. And so even South Africa, when I hear that, it's like, I can't believe that's happening. But it is. And even Kenya, I think it must have lost a lot of their land,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Too. And so, for them now to come and say no, and basically is revolting, which is great,
It is. It is.
because as I was saying, with can you imagine if maybe some Europeans decide to come and buy up all our properties? Then where would I go? You know what I mean? Where would we go? Suppose we're out of Canada. Where am I gonna go? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
the thing is that like, just by listening to your program, I start to say, you know what, I really need to preserve our land because it has been sold off. Majority of it has been sold off. I'm just happy that my dad has. At the end of his 15 acres or so left, but if it was tons of acres we had at one point. As I said to you, 14 sons, all of them got lands,
Wow.
right?
Wow. What
And
a great man.
yes,
What a great
and so
man.
one of
What a
them want
legacy.
to go back because yes, but I'm saying like all of those, like, the my cousins,
Mm-hmm.
these they don't want to go back. They're like, you know what, I want to live maybe on the north coast, or I don't want to rough it, or something. They have a different type of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But when I hear that, so I'm saying I'm so happy about the TikTok because when I see those people are fighting for their land, it's like I, I should be going out there and actually make sure that it is staying in our family.
Indeed,
You know?
indeed, indeed. And that is why the awakening here is designed to do exactly that. Because many people do not understand that the constitution and sovereignty and land are inextricably linked. Because what the constitution tries to do is to try to override your powers of sovereignty and then take control of that land underneath your feet. You know, because they know you have not made that connection between the constitution and your sovereignty and your powers of being able to hold them to account. Now we are trying to pull all of that together to make sure people understand that constitution is being used to separate you from your exercising your powers. Once you know those powers, you start exercising it, you render the constitution redundant to such an extent that you can now make changes to it because now you are the ones in control of it. Whereas, as it currently stands, those who wrote the constitution are in control of Africa in all of the 55 countries. And again, like you said, and the same thing would apply in Jamaica as well. Because
Yes.
you didn't write your constitution. You didn't write it. This was written by the colonials. So,
I've never read the Constitution before, and because of this, talk about it on your platform, I should pull it up and read it for myself
please,
because we take everything for granted, right? And so,
exactly.
yes, I'm going to read it. And next
Please.
time, hopefully, I will have it in front of me and I could, read it and understand it because I actually don't, I never even thought about it before,
No.
before you brought it up about the Constitution.
You see, they put so many things in front of us to distract us from the real power that we possess. Once everybody is aware that they have the right and as a sovereign to what happens on their in their country, and they must and whatever they say goes, you will see the changes going on. And that is what we need to teach to everybody. That's more important than any religion, more important than any music. This right now is where the real rebirth of Africans on the archipelago and across the entire world, this is where it begins. Because we are now going to exercise the powers. For so long, we have not made that link, and now we are beginning to do so. And I'm really glad you have provided a perfect example of that, Amina G. I'm going to let you quickly pop and talk to find out what's going on.
Yes, I'm gonna be a little bit distracted. I'll be back soon,
Yeah,
but let me just go do some family stuff.
absolutely. Thank you so much. Thanks for your contributions. Don Josh, welcome. Let's hear from you. What would you like to say? Thank you for waiting as well.
Yeah, Citizen Edward.
Yes, my brother.
Well, I really appreciate your program. Although you have been encouraging Nigerians to go and read their constitution, they should break down the constitution into local languages. We can see the effect happening in Kenya. Those guys knows their rights. They know what they stand for.
That's it.
And the Kenyans are awoken politically. Both the young and old, they are well awoken.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
why that's why the British hate them.
Yep.
During the
Mau Mau.
movement.
Mau Mau.
Because the people Mama movement,
Yes.
they saw that these people are awoken. They know what they are doing to them.
Exactly.
They have to push them to concentration camp and send our own troops there too to go and climb on them. So
Exactly.
this movement is an eye opener for Nigerians to be able to take power into their hands. This is just showing typical example to Nigerians for we to wake up. We are the only one in this planet Earth that are most educated. But to be sincere,
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Can you're muted, my brother. You're muted. Oh, the network. It's network issue. But carry on. I'll join us back. Anybody that like to make contributions, please, we urge you to join us, and we'd like to hear from you. I know it's late, but these are information that we need to share, and we welcome your support. Please continue to hit. Go ahead. Are you back? You back now? Okay, Vanna, go ahead. You want to say something, Vanna? Go ahead.
Yes, I just want to say, yeah, it's late, but the people that are coming now and they're talking because they're realizing we. This is the first time that we've been told about the Constitution. It's been hidden from us so that we would not be able to take our Constitution right. Now that you bring it to the light, I mean, it's like it's going to burn like a wildfire
Yeah.
when they really realize what they can do with it.
Indeed, indeed. I mean, that's certainly the hope to spark their interest in it and to take action. Because once they know that knowledge, the next thing is for them to take collective action on it. Obviously, once that knowledge is there, once the fire is lit, we now want to back it up. Okay, Peace Africa, welcome back. So we're talking about. In fact, you just had Millie G. She talked about the fact that she's now going to look at the constitution in Jamaica because they have land there and the sovereignty. They need to know what is going on to be able to, and encourage their people to begin to hold their government to account because for so long, many people have not even looked at the constitution. So you're right, this program is very, very important for us, not only on the African continent, but wherever we have Africans, across the planet and the entire planet. Haiti, for example, this could also be useful there. But of course, our main focus right now is to wake up the people on the African continent and begin to let them know their constitution in the local language. And when you use your language to read the constitution, you are empowering and making the connection between you and your land stronger. Because on that land, you know that you are sovereigns. Whereas what they've done is to make us speak English, a useless English. Miss Lady G, welcome. LJ, welcome on board. I'm sending you an invite straight away. Do join us. And we are awakening many people. I'm gonna just read you something about the sovereignty that I spoke about on the Nigerian in the Nigerian constitution. Welcome on board, Miss Lady LJ. Great to have you on board. About the Nigerian government and the Nigerian constitution, I'm going to read the similar thing in the Ghanaian constitution. Those of you on YouTube, you'll be able to see it live, but on TikTok you won't. So here it goes. Here is the constitution of Ghana in English. But we want, if you're a Ghanaian and you're watching this and you're listening, you can send me the translation of the Ghanaian, or you can join us and translate what I'm reading to you. We need to make this something that you can feel yourself. We want you to feel that you are part of the process and actually able to take action immediately. It's not about waiting. We want to remove any barrier from you connecting yourself to your rights in your own language. There should be no barrier, and that's what we're trying to achieve. Now let's go ahead. The sovereignty of Ghana resides in the people of Ghana, in whose name and for whose welfare the powers of the government are to be exercised in the manner and within the limits of the limits laid down in this constitution. So you can see, in Ghana, the power resides with the people. Same thing with Nigeria. They talk about the words they use, and I want you to know key on this separative word. It says here, in the manner within the limits laid down in this constitution. Let me see. The sovereignty of Ghana. Listen again. The sovereignty of Ghana resides in the people of Ghana. In Nigeria, it says sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria. In Ghana, it says the sovereignty of Ghana resides in the people of Ghana. Now, we want that translated into local languages so that the people can feel connected to the sovereignty and, by inference, the land. A lot of Africans connect themselves to the Bible and the Quran because they don't know that they have a direct connection via the constitution to that land. Can you see the clear deception? Those Bible and things, I don't mean to be offensive to anybody, but I'm saying the fact and we need to understand. So in both cases, the Ghanaian constitution states the sovereignty of Ghana resides in the people of Ghana. In Nigerian constitution, it says the sovereignty of the people of Nigeria belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. So you can see that there's a similarity, and that is the similarity you find right across the whole 55 nations. Even though they put it in English, in French, and Portuguese. I want us to take cognizance of that point. Okay, let's hear from Miss Lady LJ. Welcome on board. Great to have you on board. Thank you very much.
How are you guys?
Good. We're doing good. Thank you very much. We are still on the drive for the Constitution, and we are raising the awareness about the plans of the World Economic Front and the colonials, and actually trying to make sure that no African has control or freehold of their own of their land in their own country. And we are making people aware that we need the sovereignty to be in place and for people to exercise it to put a stop to that idea permanently.
So I talked to a Ghanaian.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking about me having to do jury duty.
Mm-hmm.
I was told right away that I should not do that because I would be judging someone and something about the Bible or some kind of religion or something. So I tried to equate that to, is that why the people don't say anything when you know that your leader is doing wrong? Do you feel that the religion part of it, it is your duty to bow down and allow the leaders to do anything they want to?
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you're judging them. So I took a long time explaining that I personally don't want to do the jury duty.
Mm-hmm.
But when you see a leader that's not doing right by the people he's supposed to be serving, don't you think? And before I could finish the sentence, it was, I can't. I hear that a lot. But we can't, and no one can do. And I was like, oh my God, this docile type attitude. And then to throw religion on top of that, like God does not want you
That-
to stand up for yourself,
That's it. That's
to
it.
say anything about the bad leadership, to do anything about bad leadership. And so I started trying to figure out, is this just you? This docile like that? You mean it would be a problem if you maybe wrote a little letter and sent it to them and say, hey, could you not do that? Or would you possibly consider fixing the roads or making sure we have enough electricity? Something? You
Yeah.
think maybe you can get your church to mention it?
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, it's a lot of religious stuff.
Dogma.
Yeah, yeah. So religion is used for everything. So I'm so confused by that. And not because I don't have religion or I don't have a religious belief,
That's fine. You can have that.
but
That
I believe that some interpretations of it is different. In my mind, God is a kind and loving God, and He does not want me to suffer. In my mind,
yes. Yes.
that is my interpretation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But if something is going on that's wrong and bad, I think I should have the right to say something about it.
Absolutely.
That too is my interpretation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But when talking to this person who kept saying, you know, but you know, you shouldn't judge because you're going to be judged. I'm thinking, fine, if I get judged, I'm going to say, dang, she was a great person. Look how she stood up for the rest of us when we wouldn't even stand up or say anything for ourselves. So, and the person did not like the word docile, you know, which I sling around a lot.
Yeah.
The
Well,
docile thing.
but it's a
Because
fact. It's a fact. Because of the conditioning, that's what's happening. They become docile. They do.
yeah. So that docile thing, I went on to talk about America, where I am, and how it was a long time, and a lot of people, some unalived,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to get just a little bit of something done.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we got free, and we couldn't vote. Then they pushed us off in a corner.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The poor schools. It was a lot. So it was one thing after another. But if you managed,
Ooh. Shoot. 1 second. 1 second. Carry on. Where? Sorry. Okay, let me go.
however,
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
there were groups. People putting um, melanated people in office, going out and voting and getting them in office because we have more access to them. And they have access to the powers that be.
Yeah.
So that hopefully we can get some changes made.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I said, because when Obama was the president, we
Mm-hmm.
knew that was going to be a big problem.
Mm-hmm.
So they pushed against him with any and everything that he tried to do, as well as his personal character, his family's character. Well, I give him credit for that. He didn't do nothing that would embarrass the country. He didn't do that.
No. No.
He didn't get done, you know, some things we would have liked to have seen. But it was a step in that direction.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you just say okay to everything when you know it's bad and wrong, why would anybody be even tempted to give you a little bit of something if you okay with getting nothing?
Yeah. 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 It's. Yeah.
You know you muted, right?
Yes, I know. I know. Yeah. I was just trying to take a. Somebody just called me, so I wanted to try and attend to them. But you guys got. Can you talk for a few minutes? I want to just sort something out.
Okay.
Then you and Vanna, if you can. So
So yeah, that not doing anything and being so docile if I'm the leader, somebody came and bought me a bunch of money. Here, help your people with this. And I decided to build me a house and then another house and yet another house and then buy a whole car lot. Nobody said anything. To me, that would mean they're okay with this.
Yeah.
So I should just keep going. Even if it is selfish and greedy and inconsiderate and all of that. If they don't say anything, they must be okay with the lights going out and internet being high and the price of food high, gas high. They must be all right with it. Maybe it's not high enough. Maybe I ought to raise it up some more. Nobody's saying anything.
No, no, no.
So yeah, that docile thing, it just needs to stop.
It
Be
just-
too afraid to speak out. Write a little letter, a little note, a couple of paragraphs. But don't just do nothing.
Yeah, indeed.
Especially when you do have the right to do something. Now, I understand that rules and regulations are frequently dismissed, you know, like whatever was going on.
Give me one sec. Give me one sec. Yeah, for me. Yeah, go ahead. Where are you now? For me? Where are you? Okay, are you there now? Okay, I'll come down. I'll come down. Okay. No, 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 no. It's not at home because if Lale could walk, I'm in the studio right now. I didn't realize I'm. Okay, ring and let me know. Okay, okay, bye, bye. Okay.
Yeah. So the docile thing has to go.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Constitution, section.
Okay. Thank you very much for that, Miss Lady LJ. Vanna May, I wanted to just ask yourself, what in what we're saying here, when we are talking about this constitution, what thoughts would you think that the people could use to combat this inertia, the docility that people are having? Do you have any ideas of what you think people could use to combat that, so that they can actually begin to address that as well? Miss Lady LJ touched on that in a way, but I always think that we should have as many ideas that people can use to combat things. So if you have any ideas, do let me know or let us know. Sorry, let's hear from you. Hello, are you there, Vanna? Oh, hello. I can't hear you. Your mic is very muffled. Oh, I think I think you're gonna have to go and come back. Okay, you know what? You guys carry on. Give me a few minutes. Guys, just Vanna, I can't hear you properly. I can't hear you. Okay, I can hear you now. Go ahead. Go ahead. Say something. Say something. Can you say something? I think the network is playing up here. Let me unmute you and see. Because your mic, your mic is
He's talking. I can.
okay. Carry on. Carry on, Vanna. Go ahead. Oof. Network issues. There's network issues here.
Well,
Um,
the people are docile because they do. Like, but I can hear.
yeah, it's coming off and
I
on.
see you. It says you're paused. Yeah.
Am I paused? Let me see.
Yes.
I can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
let me do this. I'm gonna try and unpause the live. I think I have to go out and come in because I'm not paused.
Yes.
I can talk, but I cannot for some reason. Let me just try something first. Let me if I go and switch off and switch on the internet.
Okay, you're back now. We see you.
You see me now?
Well, you were for a minute there.
1 second, 1 second. I'm I was trying to set it up. Okay. Is that better now? Is that better now? Is that better?
Yes, see you now.
Okay.
See you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
See you in the screen.
Okay.
There's no comment section on there.
Well, just got it on sub only.
Is it on sub only? No, it shouldn't be. There's a comment section.
Yes.
Oh gosh. 1 second. What's happened here? Something has gone wrong. I was seeing the comments before, but I don't know. Hang on, hang on. Give me a minute. Give me a minute.
Only.
Let me just see if I can. Okay, the comments are back now. I think. Are they back now?
No.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. What's happened here?
I don't know why you tinker with it. I'll give you my thoughts.
I don't know what's happened. I'm in the comment section. Hi all. Can you see me? Can you see this? Something is going funny with this.
Trying to get people to move it.
Can you see this text? Let me see if you can see this text. Okay, you can see the text. It looks like, but
No, we're still in sub only.
okay. Sub only. How did I get there? Oh boy. I'm sorry about this. It shouldn't be doing that.
Be in your settings.
Yeah.
Go in your settings. Are you in there?
Yeah, I'm in there now. I'm trying to check that again. Topics, ranking, hear your voice, moderators. There's no, I've got nothing blocked here. No.
There's no comments. There's no
Show
Do you
comments.
see subscribers
Okay.
in there?
Show comments now. I'm showing comments. Can you see the comments?
We see sub only.
Oh my gosh. Give me 1 second, guys. There's a problem here. I'm trying to work it out. I'm hoping we can sort it. So comments. Just give me a minute. I'm trying to work out what's going on here. Settings, okay. In settings, in comment section.
Subscribers. You see subscribers?
No, I don't get why people are joining. People are joining, but I cannot see anything here. That's odd.
That's because they can't text anything.
No.
So it's sub only.
Okay, let me go back in there. When did that become sub only? So comment section. No, okay. I beg your pardon. We're just trying to work out what's going on. It might have clicked on something. So rankings. Okay, hear your voice. Comment settings. Filter comments. No, allow comments. Yeah, our comments are allowed. We've allowed the comments now. So it's
Did
not.
you filter the comments?
No, no.
Okay, so maybe because it's still on sub only.
That's odd. I've not done anything different. There's no section. I've not ticked on sub only. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to check, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get back into the broadcast soon. Let me see how this works. I haven't been through this situation before, so beg your pardon as we are trying to resolve this.
Can you conversate now while you're doing that?
Yes, okay. Yes, of course. Now, if you can text me, do let me know. I'm trying to see why this thing is doing that. Okay. I'm going to try and do this. Hopefully it will work. Okay, now, so what we were talking about before is very much about raising the awareness about our rights as citizens of Africa and citizens of the nations in Africa. And we have to teach each other and encourage each other to be to always look out for and indeed share the knowledge of the Constitution in our local languages and how to use those powers in our local languages. It is really, really important that we do so because what is going on now, I'm afraid to say it, The religions are there to make you accept that you are powerless. The religions of Islam, as far as Africa is concerned, is designed to make sure that you accept that you are powerless and you have no control, you have no sovereignty. That is what they are making you believe. And we need you to wake up from that. You are a sovereign. That should be your priority. You should be taught this from the time you are from the time you're a child. We should have it in songs so that people will know that they have the right. This is what we are talking about. It's very, very, very important. Let me just see what is going on here.
Maybe we should explain the word sovereign.
Yeah. So very good point. Let me tell you what sovereignty is. Sovereignty is usually, again, like I said before, sovereignty is simply having control over a property, a land. So let's look at the word there. So I'm going to do that right now. Sovereignty. What is sovereignty? It's a good point. Sovereignty, I've done it before, but I'll do it again happily. And thank you for that idea. Supreme power and authority. The authority of a state to govern itself or another state. And then it talks about dominion, jurisdiction, supremacy, dominion, power, ascendancy, sovereignty. And then it talks about self-governing, autonomy, independence, self-government, self-rule, home rule. Sovereignty usually refers to you being able to have control over a property or a land. And that means that you can exercise that sovereignty by deciding what happens in that land or doesn't happen. If you say yes to it collectively, then it says it will happen. If you say no, then it won't. That is a
Self-governing.
self-governing. Thank you very much. Yes. And this is where we are talking about the need for us to know that we are sovereigns. And the more all of us are aware of it in the entire African continent, in all of the fake nations that has been put in place, because they are not real nations. They are simply resource collection points, because they created them to make you believe that you're a nation, but they are extracting your resources. And the only reason, the only way they can do that to you is by keeping you away from your sovereignty. Once you cannot exercise the sovereignty, they have control of your land. And that is why we're saying this constitution on the African continent has to be in local languages. Local languages. We have to make sure that we share that information and translate it. Like I said to you, if you look at the similarities between the Nigerian constitution and the Ghanaian constitution, I'm going to try and see if I can see a French one from, I don't know, what country is French? Let's go and look at the,
Togo is French.
sorry? Togo.
Togo is French.
Yeah, Togo constitution. Thank you very much. Very good idea. Let's go and look at it. I'm just going to pull it up to see. It's going to be in French. I'm not very good at French, but I will be able to see some words in it, because I need to prove to you that all of them, all these constitutions, they are all around the same things. They will put the word sovereignty in there, knowing fully well that the people who are colonized don't understand what it means. But if it's in our language, in Yoruba language, it says Ashe Ati Agbara. So you have the authority and the power. That is very important for us to, to really. Oh, Gwen Mama. Okay.
Interpretation is
Yeah.
that the citizens
Yes.
have a right to participate in their government.
Exactly. And this is what we are trying to let you know. When they're putting the Bible and the Quran in your face, they're trying to keep you from participating in your government. And that is what is very important for us to understand. So, again, it says it here. The Togo Constitution is actually written in English, fun enough. Sovereignty belongs to the people. Good evening, Gwen Mama. It's great to have you on board. It says here, sovereignty belongs to the people. It is exercised by their representatives and by way of referendum. No section of the people, no body of the state, no individual may arrogate its exercise. The initiative of referendum belongs concurrently to the people and to the president of the republic. So you see, sovereignty belongs to the people. This is a running theme that you will see in all of the constitutions across Africa. But because we don't know that we are sovereigns, we know they tell you that you're a Christian, that you're a Muslim, But they don't want you to know that you are sovereign and you have power over your land. We need that information to spread in our local languages. So people in
So
Togo,
I,
yeah,
when you asked the question about how to get the people not to be so docile,
that's correct.
so I think one way may be to um, give them the information in a kind of festive way, like a party or a gathering
Hmm.
with the music and food.
Yeah.
You know, just gather people up, and then at some point get everybody to listen. You know, pull out the microphone,
Hmm.
the bullhorn, whatever,
Hmm.
and let them know that you have some information you want to share,
Indeed.
and
Indeed.
have it very simplified
Yeah.
so that the educated as well as the uneducated
Hmm.
and the young ones
Hmm.
can understand it.
Hmm.
That you're a citizen and you have the right to participate
Hmm.
in your governments.
Indeed.
Yes.
Okay, so
However, it seems that the countries will use the military or the police against
hmm
citizens. But if it's just a festive activity where
hmm
information is being passed on, because
hmm
they got to get the information first of
yeah,
all.
yeah,
Now, what they do with that information
yeah, it's true.
is on them.
Yeah.
But when you give it to people
Hmm.
and encourage them to tell other people, you know, people that are not present
Hmm.
at the event,
Yeah.
they'll probably first want to talk about how nice it was to get some food and
Yeah.
hear some
Yeah.
music.
Yeah.
The
Speaking.
food, yeah, the food is gonna spread like the fire.
Yes.
When people know that they're being fed, I mean that is a sound. I mean
Hmm.
it's like
Oh,
a
that's
gong.
yeah.
That's gonna sound off.
Yeah. Okay.
And it really the
Yeah.
people that's fighting on the ground now because we haven't finished our organization. That's good that they're doing that. But the ones that are going to be working with us, you know, we have to make sure that they are in a position where the people are willing to listen.
That's correct. That's absolutely right. And that's where we are always encouraging our people, please, to donate to us, subscribe to the platform, help us grow. We welcome gifts as you're watching, and we need you to participate in this process. We are talking about empowering people, 1.4 billion Africans on the African continent, to know their constitutional rights. And those 1.4 billion Africans stretch across 55 countries. So you can see now, we've talked about Ghanaian constitution, Nigerian constitution, Togo constitution. All of them talks about the people being sovereign. And we need the people to know that in their local language. It has to be in their local language. Let me go and look at the Senegalese constitution just in case. Again, I'll read that out because we need to really understand because they speak French there. Senegalese, let me see, Senegalese constitution, sovereignty in the constitution. Let me just write it that way. I want to
I
see,
would really be interested to know
yeah.
what it says in Kenya because of the recent events.
Yes, yes. I will go there. In fact, very good point. I'm going to do that. Um, so again, sovereignty in the Kenya in the Senegalese constitution it says, listen to the words: national sovereignty shall belong to the Senegalese people, who shall exercise it through their representatives or by way of a referendum. No section nor people may individually assume exercise of sovereignty. Suffrage may be direct or indirect. It shall always be universal and equal and sacred. Now they are playing with words. When you're a sovereign, you can instruct your representative to do what you ask them to do because they are serving you. It says sovereignty belongs to the people, and that is the word you need to know. It is a running theme anywhere, whether it's a French constitution or English constitution or Portuguese. You are a sovereign, and we are proving that. Let's go and look at the one for Kenya, just in case.
It
Kenyan,
also covers the country that the people are living in, regardless of the language.
exactly.
The
Kenyan sovereign uh,
So
sovereignty.
perhaps docile people, a more passive way would be, like I said, the festivities and
Yeah,
discussing there, as well as for those who can write it down.
yeah.
Don't not necessarily jumping into a protest or something.
No, no.
Write it down.
Yeah,
Maybe do a petition. We
exactly,
want to have these roads fixed,
exactly.
and then collect a bunch of signatures
Hmm.
of people that agree, so it
Exactly.
can be passively given to the leaders without anybody being in any kind of harm's way.
Yeah. Not a bad idea at all. But the thing is that the people, those who are docile, they don't believe that they have any. They've actually agreed. They've accepted that they are powerless. And what we are trying to do is to make them that they are powerful. So we have to it's like we're trying to switch on their brain, to switch it on and make them know that okay, you can do this. Okay, you know what?
Understood.
So
But
but
I
you are
think you will have to ease into it.
that's correct.
But people are fearful.
That's
So
yeah, yeah.
the activity, the fun activity,
Hmm.
is a way to gather the people,
No doubt, no doubt.
give them the information there,
Hmm. Hmm.
to continue to gather, to come up with passive ways to start with.
Hmm.
To
I agree. I think we will
learn
need a
how,
myriad
yeah,
of ideas and suggestions as to how to reach that. And this is definitely one way to subtly begin to wake them up slowly. Because some may
yes,
respond immediately, some may, it will take some time. So we have to factor in. And you raise a very valid point there. Um, Always keeping in mind that we need them to know ultimately they possess that power and they shouldn't be afraid of it. Um, I'm afraid to say on the African continent, is planetary. Okay, Daniel Philippe. Okay. Unfortunately, Daniel Philippe, would you like to join us and explain that a little bit more? Let me bring you up and you can talk about this. I'll make you a guest, Daniel Philippe, and you can chat. Gwen Mama, let's hear from Gwen Mama for a second, Miss Lady and Miss Lady J. Thank you very much for that. Gwen Mama, would you like to say anything? Are you able to talk? Daniel, 1 second, please. Let me just hear from Gwen Mama briefly. Gwen Mama, if you're able to talk, just unmute and then talk. But if your hands are full with your daughter right now, then I understand. Um, but if you're able to talk, let us know. If not, I will bring on Daniel Philippe and I'll bring you back. Okay. Are you able to talk? Okay, good. Let's hear from you then. No, hang on. Then Gwen Mama, if you're able to talk, go ahead. If you would like to have, if you have any, if you like any, okay, okay. Let me do this. I'll open. Okay, you can unmute yourself. Good, fantastic. Thank you. Go ahead. Go ahead. Let's hear from you.
Okay. Well, I greet you all again, right?
Greetings, greetings, greetings. Welcome.
I reason with you guys, and that's why I'm very interested.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
it's time for us to take decision, and we know we are going to risk it all for the future generation, not
Yes.
for us. We're speaking about in 40, 50 years from now, so that Africans can be independent completely. And I reason with you guys, we will find our group and support.
Thank you so much. Great, good. And just let me ask you a question. In Sierra Leone, are you from Sierra Leone, right? Si-
No, I'm
Oh,
for Liberia. I'm
Liberia, Liberia,
representing.
Liberia. What constitution is your constitution in English or French?
No, it's English. The
English.
language is English.
Okay, good, good. Okay. What languages? How many languages do you have in Liberia?
Well, you got many, yeah?
How many? Roughly, give me a. Is it 20,
We got
30,
up on the 13 plus, yeah,
13
13
plus?
plus.
Okay. So the people do the people know about the constitution at all? Do they know anything about constitution and their rights in
Yes,
it?
it's only the young generation that refuse, but
Mhm.
our older people still communicate in the dialect.
Okay. So we
Yeah.
can so we can really, if we translate the constitution in a dialect, it can help them know better, know the constitution.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so that's what we're trying to exactly, and this is what we're trying to do on the platform, to translate those constitution in English into the all those 13 local languages in Liberia, so the people can know that they have powers, like to be able to do the steps that you to build a better future for the coming generation. Very good point there. Thank you very much for that contribution, Gwen. Let me quickly go to Daniel, and I'll come back to you again, Gwen. Thank you so much for.
Mute me, yeah.
Yes, I'll mute you. I'll mute you. Okay. So, great. You see what we just done right there. In Liberia, they have about 13 or 14 languages. It's a small country. But nonetheless, the fact that they don't know that they are sovereigns in their local language will prevent them from participating in their governance. And that will mean that the road they want in that community will not come. The water, the light, the schools, the bridges, and all of that will not happen. So this is why it is so important about the constitution right across the continent of Africa. Let us move to Daniel Philippe. Welcome on board. Thank you for being patient. Let's hear from you.
Thank you very much for letting me up.
Thank
Good
you.
evening to all. No problem waiting. So I see, I observe that even informed countries, theoretically, where they theoretically know their constitution, they feel that they go for elections, but doesn't matter who is in power, it's going to keep on being the same story over and over again. Knowing the constitution, in my experience, it helps on having a population that is really informed about the constitution, prevents corruption and helps to topple corrupt governments quicker. And because they are afraid that they are toppled over, they keep their hands cleaner. And that is really important, because the power, the economical power, is a different fight. Yeah, but the constitutional power for the governments, it's so important. Yeah, we have governments in Europe that people don't know nothing about the constitution. Corruption goes on. The more informed ones, suspicion of corruption, immediately out, elections in 3 months, no more, you don't take more decisions, you manage what is on the ground, and that's it. And the elections, and we see after the elections, most of the times changes, sometimes not, but we give it a chance. But it's only through knowing our constitution, and this is very important, an informed and active voter is the worst nightmare of a politician, because he knows that he's going to be on his toes all the time. So we need to inform and activate everybody about their basic rights. And after they have their basic rights, basic commodities will come after that.
Daniel Philippe, bravo. Thank you. Are you what country are you from, if you don't mind me asking?
No problem. I'm Portuguese, but I live in the Netherlands, and I traveled a lot around the world. I was to be a maritime man, so I traveled a lot.
Okay. This is such a brilliant thing you just said now. I am so thankful. You are just, this is exactly what we've been trying to say, and you've just confirmed it. And I'm really glad to have you on the platform here to discuss this. And I'm really grateful for the honesty and the way in which you actually answered the question succinctly, so that the people can really understand how important the knowledge of having that knowledge of the constitutional right and that what it does to the politicians. You said the word, it makes them be on their toes. They don't want to be voted out, so they will quickly toe the line. Like you said, I'm so pleased. Let's hear a bit more from you about it. If you have more comments around that.
May I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Daniel, are you with us, right?
Yeah, I'm with you. Yes, I'm with you.
So-
Against colonization, the exploitation of others, I'm on you. One human race, we are all here to share one planet in peaceful ways.
Thank you
And
very
you know
much.
what? It's really, we keep saying it won't be easy. No, that's not true at all.
No.
It's really, if we stick to the plan, if we go in, when we go in with a song and food,
Yeah.
and seeds,
And the knowledge as well, and put them together.
you build them, you build their stomach. That's already magic. When they see their children have food, and we give them seeds, that's also very, very important. The plan has to be followed. It has to be strategized.
Exactly. Well said.
And it has to be the instruction from the ancestors.
Ashe. No, thank you very much. Daniel Philippe, tonight I I'm really glad that you joined, and and your comments are very welcome, because what we are saying, and I've said it on this platform, for us and as Africans, the plan now is for us to know our rights, to exercise those rights on our continent, and we are prepared for. We welcome people, but now we have to ensure that our resources on our land we get access to, and we get the things that we need to have a proper life, a quality of life. And what you said is something that I want many people to really key in on, and really use, so that we now know that it is essential for us to have any viable living, quality of life. We need that knowledge to really begin to exercise those powers. And it's really powerful comments that you made, and it resonates with so many of us here. I'm truly grateful. And speaking from an European point of view, I love what you said when you said we are all one human race. Um, what we need is now those who are in government in many of the Western African countries, in the European, in the Western countries, the Western Europeans and US and Canada and all of that, for them to recognize, because it's those in government that are really driving things that are really causing issues. I wonder if you have anything to say on that, Daniel. I understand, but I just wanted to just ask that generally. Thank you very much.
Regarding those countries, unfortunately, they have a very bad agenda towards not only you, but towards everybody.
Mm.
Yep, they divided the global north, the global south. They want to keep the exploitation. Cannot be. You need your resources for yourselves. Our infrastructure is built on your backs. It's not okay. We need to help you to get on your feet with your own resources, with your own traditions included and represented on your constitutions, because you are a very diverse population and we mess that up so much. And we need to repair that and give you the space yourselves to have the space of reflection and think what you want for your future. If you want a future like ours, if you want to live more traditionally, more happily, it's your choice what you want to do with your resources. Want to stay in the ground? In the ground it has to stay. I'm sorry. It's like that I think. It's yours to keep and to manage.
Wow.
Have to stop.
Wow. 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 Daniel, thank you. You can hear there's a lot of people that are really glad the honesty that you show, and I appreciate you coming on here and speaking in this manner. And I hope many people are hearing what you're saying, because you spoke nothing but the truth. And I really welcome, and I take it as you said it. No extras to it. I take it as you said it. I am grateful. And you can hear comments in the background saying, wow. Because this is the things that those in government need to listen to. They have to let Africans decide what they will do with their resources. You said the words, if we want it to stay in the ground it must stay. If we want to use it to benefit ourselves, then we must be allowed to do that. We have to be allowed to grow and make a decision ourselves. Really important. Let me go to Peace Africa Hope. Peace Africa Hope, welcome back. What did you think of what Daniel Philippe just said now? Go ahead, let's hear from you. Let's hear from you.
Yes, thank you again. Thank you again. My network had gone off, so I had to first relocate,
Mm-hmm.
run around the house, and get it again.
Mm.
What Daniel just said should be the reality. Unfortunately, it is the other way around here in African countries. Then the other thing, um, the people who dictate on what happens with minerals in a country the people who are put there, the watchmen of the constitution, the people we elect in power. But now these people in power forget that they are just watchmen. Instead, they look out for their stomach. They look out for their stomach now, whereby they have to dance to the tunes of whoever matches the bigger beans on the table. These are requirements of getting financial support from World Bank, IMF. There is another one of green energy. Yes. Now, they are the ones now who decide on that country what they are going to do, who should extract those minerals, and so on. I'll give you an example. We have oil here in DRC. We have uranium. We cannot extract that even if as a country we want to. But surprising, USA comes and extracts the same oil and the same uranium. It is taken. Another example is Uganda. Uganda has the same oil because we share the same oil, around Albert.
Yes.
So, but then Uganda, by the time it said it was going to extract its
We
own
have to
oil,
get back to solutions.
Yeah.
We have to
Yeah.
get
Well.
back to solutions.
Yeah. But okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead.
they refused. They said they cut off funding to Uganda. So you find that the constitutions in Uganda don't protect the interests of the people. The laws in DRC don't protect us. And not only these two countries, but all of Africa.
Yes.
Whereby you find that now, even if we decide and say our minerals are to be extracted to benefit our people, it will be impossible. Of which it would be the truth of the reality in any other country.
Yeah.
So, as for that, the dictatorship now, if you want to start a new world war, extract oil, the USA will come in and say you are a dictator, will come and say you are, I don't know, you are abusing human rights, that it needs to put its people there to control. Are you trying to see? So that is what happens. As for what Daniel said, that would be the best to work out for Africans and African people and their countries for development. But it is the other way around. It is the other way around. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Houseman speaking.
Yeah. Go ahead.
When we talk about the Constitution and letting people be aware of what it says, many countries have come to Africa to exploit them. It's not been one country. It's been many countries.
Yes. Yes.
Thus, all of those European languages that are all over the place, that came from all the different countries.
Indeed. Indeed.
Been in and out of there. People only know one, but it's been almost every European country has been in there for exploitation.
Yeah.
Now, the leaders that are in place, at some point, people must accept responsibility. When you vote for a leader simply because he's from your tribe, he's from your country, he speaks your language, he goes to your church, you really don't ask anything of your leader. But they do have access to resources. So once you vote for a tribal person and they get in there and then they just grab all the resources that they can for themselves, that's partially your fault too.
Yeah, there is a responsibility of definitely no doubt for those leaders, because what is actually worse, what you just said, Miss Lady LJ, what is worse is not, they don't actually take the resources, they just get a cut from what the resources that have been taken out of their country. They don't control the resources, they just get a cut from what, you know, the resources that the colonials, or you know, the puppet leaders have taken out, and they get a cut and they leave the people to suffer, which is very damaging. But you're of course right. There has to be, sorry.
When I talk about the leaders that people vote for to be in charge of them and their resources, and you ask absolutely nothing of your leader. You don't ask them for lights, you don't ask them for jobs, you don't ask for clean water, you ask for absolutely nothing, and that's what they give you.
That's it.
Nothing.
Exact. That's it. And that's the issue. Right there. You hit the nail on the head. That goes back down to the conditioning that many people have been placed. The religions of Islam and Christianity makes you sort of accept that this is your lot, and you pray that God sees you through or Allah sees you through without dealing with the fact that your government is supposed to do it. And then instead of doing that, they beg. That's what happens in Nigeria. They will beg the government, please, please, can you help us? Forgetting that they are sovereigns. So you are absolutely right. And of course, touching on the question that you talked about the exploitation. It's not only by US, it's by Canada, it's by Belgium. It's
Yeah,
in fact
all the
all of
European
the G7, all of them, all European countries, they are doing the exploitation. Very much like Daniel Felipe said, and we need to raise the alarm, raise the awareness in the community via this constitution, so that the people will take back the power and we can be in control of our own resources. It will take a lot of effort collectively. Um, a lot of.
want to say that when you appoint someone to represent you
Mhm,
in the face of the world, to represent the interest of the people, not yourself.
mhm.
You know, you don't need to buy you
No.
about mansions.
Mhm.
You're not representing the people.
No.
Not
No.
just because you're from the same tribe or
No.
you speak the same language or you go to the same church or
Exactly.
whatever. They're not representing your best interest.
They are
So
representing their pockets.
voting,
Mm.
when voting, people need to ask things of the people that are running for office,
Mm.
other than you go to my church.
Mm. That's
It
true.
doesn't matter
That's true.
that
That's
you
true.
go to my church.
Mm.
What will you do to improve my life?
My community.
Can you make me a borehole?
Mm.
Can you get me some stable electricity or bring in some solar panels? Will you fix the road? Will you do something
Mm. Mm. Very good point. Very good
for
point.
the people?
Mm.
So another thing is where the lawmakers are gathered up to make the laws. I don't know if citizens are allowed to go in there.
Oh, they are. They
Not
can do. There's an
Okay,
audience
so
section.
go
Mm.
down there, listen to what's going on.
Yeah, participation. That's the participation part of it that we talked about. So very good point, Miss Lady OJ. Thank you
It's
so
the
much.
same thing I was talking about with the petition.
Yes.
If you feel that clean water is the biggest issue you have, go ahead, get a petition going saying we would like clean water at the top and have everybody in the area sign it.
That's correct.
So that while you're there listening to what they're doing, you can present to them
What must be
what
done?
the people would like.
Exactly.
But first of all, you got to put a leader in that cares. You
That's
can't keep going. If it didn't work for you choosing a tribe the first time, next time you chose somebody for their religion, it didn't work that time. Okay, if you want to get something different, you probably going to have to do something different.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah, go ahead, Vanessa. And then I'll bring Daniel. Daniel, I saw you. Daniel Felipe wants to speak, but okay, Daniel, would you like to say something? I sense you wanted to say something. Would you like to chip in, Daniel Felipe?
Yes, but it's really important that people know their rights. That is really important. But being participative, go there, confront your politicians, and the state is not a parent. The state is the manager of the good of everybody. Like if we live in a house with several people, it's the house, the money that it's in the jar is the manager of the jar money of the house to pay the rent, the electricity, the repairs, all that. And he answers to us, not us to him. And we need to shift that by participating, by making questions all the time. Oh, you are going to do that. When do we have the road? But go there and ask. And when we go to the parliaments, sit there, be respectful. It's a political space. We need to be calm and respectful, but be present. Make yourselves visible. Because through visibility, we have more power. And unite behind the color, behind the ethnicity, in the good of the community. The leaders have to think in the overall of the community, in every side of their communities. And for that, it cannot be a daddy, it's a manager. And we ask responsibilities from them.
Wow. Thank you so much. So eloquently put. So eloquently put. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Daniel. I'm really glad you're with us tonight. Vaname, let's go ahead.
Super. Daniel,
Yes.
Everything we need, everything we want, is already there.
Wow. Yeah. True. Well said, Vaname. Again, we're just switching. All we're now doing is connecting it, and we have to encourage our people to be confident. It's not going to be easy. I understand. We're not used to doing this, but we have to begin to really take that action.
Yeah.
Okay. Whilst let me quickly bring in Manny. Manny wanted to talk. Then I'll bring in Peace Africa. Manny, welcome. Thanks for waiting. Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you
May I
very
correct
much.
you? King, may I correct you, please?
Yeah.
You said it's not going to be easy. That's wrong.
Well, yeah, sorry. Now, yeah, you're right. It's not going to be straightforward, but everything is ready for us. We just have to act on it, pull it together, and have. It's already done. It's already done.
It's already easy. The
Mm,
plans are made out. All we
yeah,
have to do is follow them.
that's true.
That's
Ashe,
all there.
Ashe. Thanks for pulling me up on that. And our ancestors are with us. Ashe. Um,
That's
okay,
right.
Manny oh 01, welcome on
Yeah.
board. What would you like to say?
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity.
Mm,
I'm very happy you brought. I found someone, you know, discussing this very important topic, which is
thank you.
about the constitution and our rights as Africans. It's. I mean, have had independence for so many years now, and yet most of the citizens don't know their rights. And like you mentioned earlier on, they even though they pay the taxes, they do all the things, but they still have to beg their governments to fix the road or provide water or electricity. They literally beg with their hands in their, I find it very, very sad and unfortunate. And Daniel said something that the politicians their worst nightmare is and a very
Knowledgeable
weak
constitution,
citizen, knowledgeable citizen.
citizens.
Yeah, and for that matter, they've destroyed all our educational institutions because you look at the caliber of people coming out of our institutions, and the education level is very, very low. They don't even know the responsibilities of our governments. And we have institutions. I'm from Ghana, and we have institutions in Ghana that one is called a Center for Civic Education, and their responsibility is to educate the people about the government's responsibilities and other things.
Yes.
And yet they are not resourced.
No.
They are not even, the government deliberately withhold funds from them so that they cannot go into the villages and towns to, like something about this constitution, like you're saying, they could have gone into those places and express it in their own languages to them. But they are not given the resources to do that.
No.
So that is the challenge. That is one of the biggest challenge. We are not being. Yeah, go on.
Manny, I need to 1 second, Miss Lady. I need to do something right quick. You said you are from Ghana. I need you to. I'm going to read some words for you from your constitution, and I'd like you to choose any language in Ghana to translate briefly, so people can get an idea that you can actually translate those words into your language and use it in your community. So I'm going to read this to you. It's from your constitution in Ghana. It says,
Sure.
sovereignty of Ghana resides with the people of Ghana, in whose name and for whose welfare the powers of government are to be exercised. So let's see if you can translate that. Just say it for us in a, so we can hear any language in Ghana in a translation.
So one of the biggest and the widely spoken language is Twi, which is Arakan speaking people. So I'm going to say that in the Akan language or the Twi language. So Omaino Koso and Omaino to me ewo Omaima Ninsam. Omaima no yi penyufo ama omuhwe Omaino so mai. It is 2 minutes on mine as a man and some. So all I'm saying is that is the citizens who select the people, the leaders. So the power is with the people. So we should be able to determine what we want, and then they have to follow.
Thank you
So
so much for that.
literally, that's
Thank you so
yeah,
much because that's what we wanted. And you see what you did there, I did not hear a word of English in what you said. You just said
no,
it all in the Chi language. And that
yeah,
is where the message gets across.
yeah,
And I'm so glad that you've done that because I was secretly I was wishing that somebody from Ghana, I did say if you're from Ghana, join us. And you've just done that. And honestly, I need you to be part of this because we're looking for people, all African nations, to be part of this process and translate the constitution and have stakeholders in communities to go around and actually translate it so that people can know that they have that
yeah,
power because that's what we need. So I'm so grateful. I'm so thrilled that you've just done just that. Thank you
yeah.
so much. Thank you so much.
I'm
I'm
happy that you
chuffed.
gave me the opportunity. I'm glad. Thank you for giving me the
No
opportunity.
problem. Now listen, this is
I'm following you. I'm following you. So I'll
yeah.
be following you
We
all the time.
we will be inviting you to. We have a meeting. I don't. We got a meeting tomorrow, but I'll be inviting you. I'm sending you. I'll send you a link. We have a
Okay.
WhatsApp page. If you can inbox me your number, I'll add you to the WhatsApp page as well. Because these are the kind. We need to take steps now. Now we don't want to talk
Okay.
anymore. We want action. We want
Okay.
critical action on the ground. We
And
need
we
to
want the
reach.
message to get down to the people, to the people, the masses. That's where
Fantastic.
it's gonna work. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So please, any more? Would you like to any more comments?
So
I'm
I
just chuffed.
have
Yeah. Go
a
ahead.
question.
Yes.
A
Okay.
Oh
question.
no, I'm all right now. So maybe yeah. Thank you. Just
Thank
I
you.
just wanted to chip in about the
Thank you, and
those
thank you so
institutions
much
that
for
we
your
have
for
here.
thank you so much for your valuable contributions. I'm so
Thank
so
you too.
so glad. Thank you. Please, everybody, everyone on the panel, follow them and we give gifts to them as well. And of course, we welcome gifts. Don't forget to subscribe to us on here. This information that we're trying to this is going to be it's going to change the whole of Africa if we do this. Please, please, please join us. You have a role to play. Okay, Daniel and Miss Lady LJ, go ahead.
So I just want to ask for the people that are in the chat, it's time for that public service announcement.
Yeah.
For the people that are in the chat and for the TikTok algorithm, if you would please be so kind as to tap the screen and
Yeah.
even more importantly, share this live. Share this live with like minded people. Share the live with people that are not like minded. Just share the live.
You can't
Thanks,
share
Kenny.
it. It's not screen.
No,
Yeah, well, I've been sharing
it's
it.
sharing
It
now. It's
shared
sharing
both
now.
sides. So
I see.
share the live so that the community and the information can get out. Because host, I think you're doing a great job
Thank you.
um, with the topic you've chosen, the way you stick to it, and don't let us get too far off track.
Now,
And as
thank you.
well as giving everyone a chance to speak. But we need the live to share. There's 20 people in the room. The likes are only at 6.8. So if everybody that's in the chat, not the people in the panel, just the people in the chat, if you could tap it up and see if each person can get 1,000 likes up here, this will make the algorithm send the message out,
Yeah.
as well as share the live, whether
Yeah.
they come or not.
Yeah.
Share the live. I know you got some friends. Share the live.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for that.
There's no share here. I'm telling you.
Okay. You may have to go
What's
out and
going
come
on,
in.
Verna?
There's no share. It's
Oh, yes,
only
it is. So it's been
no,
shared 10
not
times
here.
already. The
Okay.
live has been shared 10 times. Let me talk about that for a moment.
No. Wait. What I'm saying, what I'm looking at now is only AY and the people that's in the request boxes. That's all that's there.
Okay.
Okay, so
Well,
let me help you, Verna.
There's no comment box and there's no share.
Yeah, there's a comment box. And there's also a share.
hold on. Hold on. Vanna, it may be others. I just saw somebody ask what's the topic, and I answered them now. And I answered them, and I told them we're talking about the constitution translated into our local languages. So there is a comment section now. It may be that Vanna, hang on, Vanna, you may have to go
Verna,
out and come back in. It's not a problem. If you go out and come back in, it will come back on. Okay. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
because I
Thank
just
you.
put a comment
Yeah.
in,
Yeah.
and I want to say this about sharing the live.
Yeah.
In
Go ahead.
case, I don't know if everybody knows, but if you find a clear spot
Yeah.
on the screen,
Mm.
you press and hold it.
Yeah.
It will allow you to share the live
Yeah.
with multiple people.
Yeah.
People from your friend list will pop up,
Mm-hmm.
and off on the side, it will say send. And you
Exactly.
can just go down the line, just hitting send to share the live with as many people as possible.
Yes.
Other than that, you will just have to go to that arrow in the lower right hand corner, and mine only lets me share to one person at a time.
Mm.
Unless you do it the way I just said.
Mm.
Press and hold in a clear spot, and then a list of your friends will come up.
Thank
And you
you.
can just go down the line and send it. So, because we want to see the live, the numbers go up.
Yes.
We want to see, yes, we're at 7.8 now for likes. So that is important for TikTok's algorithm.
Yes.
And when you share the live, more people come, more information is out there. When we discuss it, when we're in other people's lives, more people will come. That's all I
Absolutely.
want to say.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Can you see it now? Can you see it now, Vaname?
The people that are sitting here, the ones that are here, start giving gifts. It slows us down to be able to continue the program without funds.
Yes.
Give freely. Give freely and see the vision of being able to set us free.
Ashe. 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 I'm really grateful you said that, Vaname. We do need support. We need you to be physically involved in this process, and we need you to be part of the journey. We need to be able to bring this to life in every community. And I mean, we're talking about 1.4 billion people in 55 countries, and we need to join hands in doing this because now we not. It's about taking action. We have a program in place. Basically, you've seen me now, and you've seen it. Those of you on YouTube, on YouTube, you've seen me really, literally, just bring the information together about the Constitution and translate it. And then we need you to just simply translate that document into our local languages. That way, the people can participate in it. Once you translate it into all the communities, for example, in Liberia, there are 13 languages. We want that constitution translated into all of those languages so that the local community will know their rights in their language and they can exercise it, because we will also teach them how to do that. We envisage a plan where we are going to have stakeholders who we will fund. We will have to fund it. That's where donations will come in. On this platform, I can tell you, the Alkebulan group that we're working with, we are insistent that transparency must be our watchword. Every penny of what is spent will be accounted for, and we will have 3 or 4 men committee that's going to deal with any funds that is going to be moving anywhere, to clarify, to know what it is, and we will have clear plans laid out. We're working on those plans right now. We need as many people to join in with us. And you don't even have to join us if you don't. You can start up your own, because we have 1.4 billion people to reach. So this is something that we must do. It's not even a question of waiting. If you want to be able to retire in Nigeria or in Ghana or in Gambia or whatever, you need to be helping the people in those communities to know their powers of sovereignty. It is our responsibility. Let's take it on. No question. Yes, and it's our time.
Sorry, I came up with
Yeah.
a question. No, please, let me finish talking first, please.
Yeah, okay, okay, go ahead.
It's our time now. Just wanted to know what happened in Kenya. It's our time. We're united, and we're anointed, appointed,
Yes.
and united.
Ashe,
Okay?
Ashe.
It's our time.
Ashe.
Everything we need, all the people we
Thank
need
you, Daniel.
to help us push this here.
Yeah.
It will be easy for all of us.
Ashe.
Because the joy of what we're going to do,
Ashe.
of what we're doing, the joy of what we're doing will empower us and fulfill us.
Ashe,
with
Ashe,
joy.
Ashe. Okay, let me just, I want to hear from somebody that asked a question. Likon Kimen, you asked what's the topic? The topic is about the constitution of in African countries. In 55, I repeat, yes, 55 African countries. We need those constitutions to be translated into all local languages. You see, in Europe, a quick synopsis. In Europe, they have the language. If you can have your constitution in Flemish, in French, in Spanish, in Portuguese, in English, in Welsh, in Gaelic, in all of the languages in the in Europe. We need the same thing on the African continent. It is that simple. Once we start rolling that out, there is no way the people will not be able to hold their governors to account. We've been put in the dark for too long. We must change it. Thank you very much for that, Kryptonaki. Thank you. I appreciate you. All of us, let's make it our role. Let's make it our job. Daniel Felipe, I am so grateful for the gift as well, and thank you so much. Any more suggestions yourself from you? I'd love to hear. Oh, sorry, Miss Lady LJ, go ahead.
I got my question
Okay, yes.
about Kenya and what
Oh,
has happened
oh
in
yes,
Kenya.
yes. Sorry, yes, Kenya. Sorry, let me answer that now. Are you talking about the constitution, right? I remember.
I'm talking about the protests.
Yes, okay. Let me give you an update. Somebody, if there's anybody who's in Kenya, right, from Kenya, we'd love to hear from you right now. Throw us an invite so you can give us latest updates on what is happening in Kenya. I do have some information, and that is that the government of Kenya, they have, because they are trying to defeat the impeachment plan. So what the government has done has to suddenly pay all of the government officials a lot of money. All of the officials have been paid a lot of money. So and even the opposition have been paid money in their salaries to get them to not vote out Ruto. That's what they've done. That's what the government has done um, in Kenya. And as I speak to you, the protest is still going on. Gen Z are protesting, but some of the Gen Z, they have been called over to talk to the government, and we are going to remind those who are doing that. If you do that, you are pulling back the an enormous strides that you've made. You are going to pull back the entire movement if you continue in the process of having a dialogue with somebody that wants to keep the status quo, which is to oppress the people. So we are calling on some, not all. The Gen Z, some of them are actually calling them out. I've seen videos about that, and somebody sent that to me. Daniel Manyika. Daniel, if you are here, throw me an invite. I'd love to hear from you. Let me see if I can source Daniel quickly. 1 second.
Okay, so I thought the protest was about taxation.
No. It's not about taxation alone.
About raising the taxes.
No. It's all of it. It's about raising taxes. It's about the spending of public
So
money.
peacemakers saying they wanted to impeach the president.
Yes, they do.
Okay.
So and because the government is not stopping the stealing of money, for example, the money that they're going to give to all of these government officials is going to increase the debt of Kenya by into 1 trillion shillings. So that's the information that I have on that. But that's why we need to continue to support and encourage the Gen Zs to stand firm, to continue to go into the communities and share the message. One of the things that's in the Constitution, they amended the Constitution to make sure that all freehold in the hands of the people will now become leaseholds. So they'll be paying money to the government in their own land, on their own property, needlessly. And they are rejecting that. And they've translated it. I've seen a video where they spoke about this in their local language for their people to understand what is going on. So we need a lot of this to happen right across Africa. We need this awareness. We must support the Gen Z in Kenya. And I'm in discussions with people and talking to people in Nigeria. The NSAS people, they are following what the Gen Zs are doing and recognizing that they have to take steps themselves, because they realize that the biggest problem with NSAS in 2020 was they did not have the knowledge of the Constitution. They weren't aware that they had powers within the Constitution that they could translate to their families at home to get the support. So when the NSAS went on the protest, the people were not with them because they didn't connect and communicate the powers within the constitution to their people in their language. Now they are trying to do that. That's because of what they see the Gen Z do in Kenya. So there's a lot that I'm unpacking right now. There's a lot because I'm researching, I'm following all of this because it feeds back into this to the constitution that we're talking about. So I hope that gives you some kind of information.
It does. It gives me an idea because I didn't know they were actually trying to
Mm,
impeach the president. I
mm.
thought it was about the taxes, but it's probably a little of both.
It's more,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
the other thing is um, to make sure, because I believe on the first few days of protests that the protests were peaceful.
Hmm.
I don't know when it got violent,
Okay.
but perhaps that should be one of the things on a petition
Hmm.
that the police do not attack peaceful protesters.
Yeah, exactly. Very, very good point. One of the things that they've done, they have put in infiltrators. The government has, and this has been that they've exposed them. They've put in infiltrators to go and make them pretend that they are part of the Gen Z. And then they try to blame the Gen Z for the problem. But it's been uncovered in so many places. And the Gen Zs have now got their own stewards to monitor so they will know who is part of their group, who is not part of their group, to counter the plans of the government. So the Gen Zs are not relenting, but it requires help and support from us. We need to put this information out there to everybody so that we are aware. It's really important. Let us watch what's going on. Yeah.
Here in the U.S., when we did protests in
Mm-hmm.
the past,
Mm.
to make sure, because the European people would come in while we're doing a peaceful
We will do. We will do.
protest.
We will do. Venom, 1 second. Yeah. Miss LJ, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Quickly, and
Come
then
in while we're doing a peaceful protest.
yeah.
The protest was well planned.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to start at this street. They're going to go down to that street. They're going to chant this. They're going to bring signs and stuff. That way, when the media
Mm-hmm.
sees them without having to ask people what's going on, something about it was on this really big sign
Yes.
that people carry.
Mm-hmm.
But what we found to happen a lot of times was an opposition
Mm-hmm.
would attend the protest and start breaking windows and doing property damage and things,
Mm-hmm.
and blame it on the protesters.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So some of the the church ladies were the only ones that were doing this. But
Mhm.
when they began to march, they would lock arms around each other
Mhm.
as they moved
Mhm.
and sing,
Mhm.
so that they could see that they weren't doing any damage.
Mm.
And everyone that was in the vicinity, family members and stuff like that,
Mhm.
would record. So this is how they started getting caught
Mm.
doing the damages.
Mm.
As it turns out, like the night before, a mysterious van would show up
Mhm.
with pallets and bricks and pile them up on the known route
Mm.
of the protest.
Mm.
So while the protest was going on, there would be unknown people of the opposite race,
Mm.
usually,
Mm.
and they start breaking windows.
Mm. Mm.
And they would they try to make it seem like the protesters did it.
That's
So
correct.
I'd
That's
like
exactly what's happening right now in
some
Kenya right now.
arms. Yeah, then the police want to get involved and break up the protest.
And turn to
So
them.
the locking of the arms as people protest, as well as having a lot of people filming. Thank God these phones all have cameras.
Exactly.
Video cameras.
Mm.
So people would walk along the side of them, videoing, and you have to make sure somebody's at the end of this.
Exactly.
But we got an opportunity to see the pallets piled up, to see the bricks piled up.
Exactly.
Nobody brought bricks to the protest.
No, no.
There was a big pile of them and a whole lot of pallets. Because once they broke the window, then they go in and start a fire. Then they say the protesters did it.
Exactly.
Tell that to the news. The police become agitated.
And then they
Now
try
you
and
gotta
come
get
hard.
out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
yeah.
the filming was very important
Yeah.
to catching up with these people that were doing this.
Exactly.
And still the protests went on because once they were identified, people would call them out. Hey, you. I mean, some of them without their spray painting on businesses.
Exactly.
And people would call them out. What are you doing?
Exactly.
You're not with us, and we didn't ask you to do that.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, that very good point. Thank you very much for that, Miss LJ.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I was so saddened to hear, you know, that. And when I saw the video and
Yeah.
there had been some vandalism, I was like, oh no, this has gone wrong.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's a ploy by the government, and the kids are even doing more to make people aware of the constitution all the time. And I praise them. I know they feel a bit. The government is trying to buy some people off, but the plan is when the people are aware of their rights, they can actually hold the government to account. Um, Let me just quickly go back to Daniel. Thank you very much for that, Mr. LJ. Daniel, I'm sorry if I hadn't. I wanted you to. If you do, you have anything to more to add in terms of Kenya, and what are your thoughts on that? The Gen Zs, as an outsider observing. Thank you.
As an outsider observer, I'm very happy with it they are doing. I follow from the beginning, like you said, everybody has phones, and I have been seeing the revolution live. I was lucky to see it happening several moments, even when they entered the parliament. From the beginning, when it was peaceful, lawyers and other Gen Zs with high education, not to diminish anyone, but
Yes.
with high education
Yes.
being attacked by the police.
Yeah.
And the difference between education and police also helps in activating the police in violence because they don't understand that the arguments on the other side are purely intellectual. It's
Exactly.
a discussion of the mind, of rights, and they react physically. They are the I don't like to say this, but they are the dogs of the government.
Yep.
Bad
Yep.
governments have bad dogs.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's what they do. And Gen Z united, informed, it's going to be beautiful because they are going to manage over every division. That is the beauty. It's that they united over everything for the good of the whole of a country, of an idea of a country based on the idea of a constitution, and protect themselves from foreigner powers, foreigner exploitation, and manage their country and benefit from their country and the resources and the diversity that they have, because it's beautiful to see. And that's what my opinion about Kenya, about what you are doing. It's the most beautiful pan-African literacy project that exists at this moment.
Wow, thank you.
It's so important.
Thank you.
And I'm in Europe. I'm going to see if I can help you on any way.
Wow.
Yeah, if I
Thank you.
find some way to make you going, because it's really important.
Thank
You
you.
need to educate them, and then we can activate them, and things will change for the best, because we are all humans. You are growing so fast. Your population is increasing in that area so much. And yeah, it's time that you benefit from your land again, like you did for many, many generations until we come and interfere. We have to leave and be welcome if you want us on any way and form, but it's yours.
Wow.
It's really yours. For today, I tell you, use my sounds if you want. Feel
Yes.
free.
Thank you.
It's all for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
But for today, I have to have a good night because it's 3 in the morning.
Yes.
Yeah?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Daniel. I appreciate, and do come again. I'll be in touch. We will talk some more. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye, Daniel. Thank you.
Good night to all.
Good night. Good night. Good night. Thank you. Bye. Wow. 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 Guys, did wow. Guys, did you I mean, this, we need to hear this more and more, and we need to use it to drive us forward in this project. We are already going forward. There's no stopping us. I'm here to tell you there's no stopping us. Join us. You owe it to your community. You owe it to 1.4 billion Africans on the continent to do everything in your power to empower our people. Because when you empower the people, the benefits are We will be able to come back home. You will not be seeing our kids dying in the Mediterranean Sea. We will be able to hold our government to account. Even those in government, they will become afraid to spend the money anyhow because they have to account for it. We are doing this. We will achieve this. We are achieving it. It is happening. Join us. Join us. I'm really glad about today. We probably got I've got another 12 minutes or so. We're probably going to wrap up because this is a great session today, and I want to end on a good note. Felipe from Portugal really has touched on something that we needed to hear. All of us needed to hear it. You see, we've been saying this is what's been happening, but Felipe put it in words, and he's actually telling us we have the right, that it is ours without any question. Nobody can take it from us, and we are manifesting this. I want you to put that in your mind. Manifest that Africa is free. Manifest and take collective action. All of us. I'm really grateful for today. I'm grateful. And Verna May and Miss Lady LJ, Gwen Mama, Manny Owen, and everybody that's donated and contributed and made comments. I'm seeing more people join on. Invite Fubi, everybody. I am just so, I'm so thankful. I almost didn't do tonight's broadcast because I was trying to rehearse for my show that I'm doing. I've been invited to sing on Saturday in Milton Keynes in my area here. So we'll be doing that. But I thought I wanted to do this first. I might still rehearse after this if my voice is a bit tired, so I might do it tomorrow. But what I'm trying to say here is this. Thank you, thank you, thank you to each and every one of you. The journey has begun. We are achieving it. We need you. We need you. We need you. You are my reflection. I am your reflection. Together we will free Africa. This is the knowledge that we need. The constitution in 55 countries. I want you to dream big. I deliberately went for it. I know it's not, I can't do it on my own. But when I say that we are going to wake up 1.4 billion people, I mean that. And it is going to happen. And we are going to do it together because we need that in our communities. We need Africa to wake up. We need the coming generations to benefit from their resources. Like Daniel Philippe said, we can do this. We are doing it. Please. Yes. Check on Congo. Thank you. Yes. Let me just tap on that. Now that's another point again. That's why I bring on Peace Africa Hope. He's a part of Congo, and Peace Africa Hope is working, doing very much what we're doing. In fact, I would even go so far as to say that Peace Africa Hope is a pioneer for the work that we've been doing. Because prior to me, I didn't even know he was doing it. But when he's told me he's been doing it, and he's actually got organizations put in place, and we are going to be partnering. No doubt, be in no doubt, we will be partnering and learning from the experiences of Peace Africa Hope and actually get them out there. We want to put them on the map. We are going to be doing a show directly with Peace Africa Hope to make people understand what is going on in Congo. Not Congo as in C-K, Congo. You know, we need to use the right words because the exploitation that's carried out by the Western powers, as mentioned by Daniel Philippe. Yes, Kongo, that's it, Congo, not C, Congo. That's the word that the people know it as. So we need to start using the right names on our continent. It is very important.
Sure.
Yes, great work. Manny, you wanted to say a few things, do you, before I bring in Peace Africa Home? Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. I like your emphasis on the using of the language, the original language, because it's all part of the brainwash and putting us in some category. We need to claim everything back in our own original form. So thank you for emphasizing on that. I'm really happy you did that.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Sure.
thank you. Okay, so Peace Africa Hope, man of the hour. Go ahead. Let's hear from you. Thank you.
myself a little bit.
Of course. We're going to wrap up in a few minutes, but thank you for coming back. I appreciate you.
Yeah, maybe you can just a little, then I can add on.
Okay. Felipe, he's left now. He was very, very eloquent in really detailing that Africa belongs to us. We have the right to decide what we want to do with our resources, and we have the right to know our rights as sovereigns. And he's quite willing to work with us to promote this project. And he even said this is one of the best things he's seen. This project that we're on is one of the best things he's seen that will actually wake up Africa. So he left, and he's going to be in touch with myself, and of course we will all interact. Again, he wants to see this project progress because he believes in Africa. An European who believes in Africans and the right of Africans to benefit from the resources. That is really fundamental. So I don't know if you wanted to chip in on that. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah, as I expected, obviously. The same way, I just didn't want to say something that I had just missed like 3-4 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is wonderful, and I'm very, very happy. Oh, how I long to see my dream implemented.
Ashe.
How I long to see Africa united
Okay.
just by one spark
Yeah.
of us concentrating on the best way to educate people through emphasizing knowing the constitutions.
Yes.
You
Yes.
see, changes in a country and in people's minds may not be significant immediately, but the way people unite, they always have one common factor. And that one common factor that is having us on the panel and people interested in listening to us is the reality of what they go through every day. The reality of what they go through every day. The other thing I can maybe say what we ought to do is, as we are teaching these people about the Constitution and liberation, we also teach the people on better qualities of leaders to be chose, to lead us, to be our custodians of the Constitution, custodians of our resources, custodians of our voices to represent us out there. Earlier before, a speaker said that the people we choose are the problem. Yes, it is true. Why? We choose our leaders, our MPs who represent us, and presidents based on religion. Can you imagine? Based not on their capability to deliver, but just because I'm a Catholic, someone becomes a leader because he's a Catholic. Just because he's a Protestant or an atheist or anything. But they forget that these people are not only representing a given crowd of people. It is the whole nation. It is the whole community. You see, so we have to set our standards and know that the leaders we choose will be really the people who represent us. Otherwise, we are having hyenas take care of our sheep.
Yes.
And once the sheep are missing, we are crying, asking what is happening to the sheep. Yet we already know
It's the
that we
hyenas.
have hyenas as our gods. Now, the other thing I can tell you, I'm not stopping anyone from worshipping whatever they want to worship. But really, during colonial time and slavery time, the white people never gave us anything good. What makes you think religion is good that they gave to us? What makes you think that if really heaven was in the Bible, heaven was in the Quran, would these people really share it with us Africans? Never. And the other thing is, when the church needs money or the mosque, they come to the people. But when the people are stranded, they tell us to go to God. How? It's a double standard. I try to see. So, and the other thing I can tell you, we Africans have hope in people we put into power to be our problem solvers. No one is going to solve our problems unless we solve them ourselves. That is one other thing. How? Every every man for himself and God for us all. That is a fundamental rule of capitalism that is being pushed amongst our people. This is why all these wars are there, because of capitalism. The minerals we have are bringing wars because of capitalism. You see? But then, for what? At the end of the day, the people they are fighting to please are not even willing to help us. They just go aside and laugh at us. Because they know they'll just get 150 billion, they give to a president, this is for your country, go and sterilize this area. We will give you more money. They will do that.
Yes.
So, integrity of African leaders is lacking. Yes, about the Gen Zs in Kenya, most of them were attending my teachings online. I remember even when this strike was going on, they were calling me, asking me how do they impeach, what to do next, what they shouldn't do during the strikes and so on. Now, imagine the president of Kenya planted people, goons, in the strikes so that they can make the peaceful strikes look more demonstrative and violent so that they can be suppressed. I told them this would happen. You remember I told you that?
Yes, you did. You did. You
Would
did say.
happen. The next step would be criminalizing them. After criminalizing them and it doesn't work, he will call for peace talks. After peace talks doesn't work, now the people will call for arbitration. After calling for arbitration, the MPs also will realize their mistake and start impeachment. Governor Sifuna was championing that, and they were saying they were impeaching the president, and even news interviewers were saying, but the people are saying you must go. What was next? Appeasement policy, like I said. Appeasement policy
Money.
was done.
Yeah.
Now, bribing was going on. Why? Because he realized now the constitutional power of every country are at the hand of the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court in every country. Now, the people had started going to the responsible people, the Gen Z. What he did, now he bribed all the people not to impeach him. Otherwise, why would he increase their salaries during the time when they are complaining about extravagance of the government? Are you trying to see?
Yeah.
So that means what we are doing, teaching the people the constitution, is working. It is even evident, even in DRC, it worked. And elsewhere it can also work. So let us not feel like whatever we are doing, yes, it is slow to pick up, but eventually we are going to reach there.
Indeed.
And the whole world will know. Only what we are going to add on is qualities of a good leader.
That's it.
So now, qualities of a good leader should be also taught to the people. Teach people how to choose a good leader that will help and support them in any way. Otherwise, education. I always talk about education whenever we are together
Yes,
and online.
you do.
If the challenge of education is fixed, let us leave alone the theoretical part. Let us concentrate on skill empowerment. Skill empowerment gives only the necessary skills and necessary teachings.
Indeed.
The rest, the time is short, and people start working. The dependency. If we stop the dependency, taxes will increase, revenue will increase, levels of standards will increase in people, and people will learn more and want to learn more. That is the only way we can scale up our people to understand. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you. Great submission. Thank you. Vanna and Miss Lydia LJ, I'll read to you quickly the constitution of DRC, where it talks about sovereignty. National sovereignty belongs to the people. All power emanates from the people as exercised directly by way of referendum or elections, indirectly through the representatives. So again, it talks about sovereignty in there. So this is what we'll be doing, teaching the constitution, teaching it over and over. Let me hear from Mbez. My brother, it's been a minute. Welcome on board. We've been talking about translating the constitution into local languages. We're about to wrap up. I just wanted to just hear from you. Mbez, let's hear from you. Go ahead.
Hi, how have you been? Good
Good,
evening.
good evening, good evening. Thank you.
Greetings to everyone. I've
Thank
been
you.
doing a lot of traveling, that's why, and the time difference is
Yes,
messing me up.
of
That's why I
course.
couldn't get you on time.
Okay, that's fine. That's okay. We just been talking about translating the constitution, not just in one country, in all 55 countries, and it's getting traction. It's gaining traction because we have been looking at various constitution tonight, and every part that we've read, they all talk about the same thing: sovereignty of the people. The people possess the power. Now, what we need to do is to translate that into local languages so the people can use those powers, begin to use it to hold their governance to account, and we can also teach them how to do that. And we came across there's a guy called Daniel from Portugal, and he said this is the way to go for us in Africa. And he said that what has been the exploitation is long enough; it has to stop. And he's an European, and they said no, we have the right to put a stop to all this, and we must encourage the people to know their rights so they can hold their governance to account. And he said this is perhaps the best program he's seen about raising the awareness so far. So we are quite pleased about what we're doing. We've always known that it's the right way to go, but we need to support each other. And I know I've been in touch with yourself. One of the things that struck a chord with me when we spoke the last time was when you mentioned that what is being used for making the wind turbines, or the wind um what do you call it again? The wind,
Yeah, wind turbines.
yeah, wind turbines. All of it is coming from Africa. So, and that is the thing that is very important, you know, and for people to know. So we all the resources, we have everything we need, like Vaname says. Now we need to put it together and really go forward. So let's hear from you generally before we wrap up. I know it's late. It's about 3 hours now. We're going 3 hours into it, but I wanted to let you speak before I move on, bring it to an end. Thank you very much. Let's hear from you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And sometimes when I speak or when I'm with my friends or other Africans, they'll tell me that, hey, yes, you're crazy because of the way you see things and the way you look at things. It's a very good thing. Koreans are excelling because they are studying in their language. Chinese are excelling because everything is in their language. Language is a good thing. And if you travel like to somewhere like in South America, the moment, not even in South America, even in United States or Canada, the moment you speak Spanish, the Spanish community embraces you. They don't care. They don't care the color of your skin or where you come from. They just know you're their brother. And that is one of the things Africans are failing, language. And even in South Africa, when you speak Zulu, the Zulu community embraces you. And I feel like everywhere in the West like that, because if I go to Nigeria today and speak Yoruba, the Yoruba people will be interested and they'll take me like one of theirs. And so
Indeed.
changing our constitution into our languages, it's gonna help, really, really gonna help. But the big question is, who are we as Africans? Because today, me and you, we can sit here and talking about changing our constitution to our local languages, but there are people that do not see themselves like Africans. I had a heated conversation today with a South African live audience where I spoke with elderly people. I'm talking people that are, some of them are old to be enough to be my fathers and stuff like that. And they're busy saying that the problem of South Africa is foreigners. And I try to like explain certain things, when I asked them certain questions they couldn't answer, but it turned into insult. I'm like, if you cannot answer, then you can learn, you know. And now we are talking us coming together as Africans, and those part of Africa do not see us the same like them. How then do we come together? Because the fight is not only about the constitution, it's all of Africa coming together. When Zimbabwe was fighting against Mugabe, when the police turned on those youths, some of them ran to South Africa. What happened? South Africans never supported them. They called them Kwere Kwere or foreigners. Today, Kenyans youth have risen. If tomorrow the police get in or the army, some of them will run to Tanzania, and Tanzania will call them foreigner. Why is Tanzania not talking? Why is Tanzania not supporting Kenya in what is happening? All those countries around there, they're supposed to support Kenya so that their government can see that, hey, these youths are connecting together. From Kenya, they're coming to us and they start to fix it. But the other countries are keeping quiet, and they're going to use this tomorrow against our people. So when I say it's not about constitution, this fight is so big, and it starts with the mindset. It's that I wrote a comment that maybe we need to seek for the help of aliens to
No,
help
no,
us.
I have to disagree. I have to disagree. I have to disagree. I tell you what. I tell you what. Imbes.
No,
Imbes. I tell you something. Let me. I'm going to chip in here. I hear what you're saying, but I need us to look at something. I want us to look at something. You are a problem solver. You've been headhunted.
Yes.
You have been headhunted precisely because you are a problem solver. I want you to know that we have the solution to every single problem that you raise now. And by when we start pulling people to stick together, this platform is doing things that I didn't think was possible. That's because I envisaged it. People around me suggested how to manifest it, and we are working on that. And guess what? People are connecting, and they really want to be part of this process. And you are. I'm not even asking you. You are going to be part of this process. I'm telling you now. You are. Now, when it now comes to those areas where the people, you see, the people of South Africa that you spoke about, that they were trying to make fun, when they now see the constitution in their own language, they will embrace you. I promise you. So it's about time. We just have to just be very, very precise, focus on what we're trying to do here. Make sure that look, we are trying to reach 1.4 billion people. What's a few people with disagreement? We're trying to wake up 1.4 billion people, and we are doing it. So, Imbes, I want you to be absolutely clear that the ancestors, this is a message from the ancestors to us all. Africa is rising. It is time, and we are achieving it with their support and their guidance and the protection and the manifesting of their desires to see Africa be fixed and be to rise again. We will do it. Do not be any doubt. Don't have any doubt
No,
to remove it.
I'm a true African man. That's why I use my traditional African name even on my TikTok and stuff and all of those things.
Yes.
I've not changed my accent. I've been living
Good.
outside Africa close to 20 years.
Yes.
And people still say, man, why are you not changing and stuff like that? It's because that's my identity.
That's correct.
And I'm proud anywhere I go. And sometimes when they say, hey man, you got accent, I say you also got accent.
Exactly.
You have to take your time and listen to me and
Exactly.
the way I do things and stuff
Exactly.
like that. And all of the time when I read something, I want to bring it back to the African level. I do not go to church. I believe in African spirituality.
Good.
And
Good.
I know that if I understand my culture first, there are a lot of things that I'll understand outside, because what I've learned, 90% of the things I've learned in America and Europe came from Africa, and it has just been modernized. And there is no way that we cannot fight this fight. But now, sometimes we also have to look at the reality, the people we are dealing with, because only our own African brothers are still the problems too.
Oh,
You know?
without a doubt. But you see, I want you to picture this. One of the problems that when you hear people talk about Jesus Christ and Allah as their savior and the things, and they are Africans, because they've been conditioned to do that as their solution. It's like a theory. They put them in the theory idea. You know, when you read theory, they're not looking at the real going to the field and actually solving the problems. So that conditioning feeds into not only the religion, but into everything else that they're doing. So we don't have a problem with that now, because now when they start seeing their community around them begin to to coalesce and to work together and actually exercise powers that they benefit from, guess what? They will join. They might be reluctant, but they will join. And the wind of change is here. Believe me, my brother. I'm not. It's not me saying this alone. Our ancestors are saying this, and we need to make sure. Thank you very much for that heart, Vaname. We have to make sure that we continue. But I guess I'm going to be wrapping up here. I want to say thank you to everybody, and we will in touch again. Please leave your name, and I mean, I want you to. I'll be inviting you to our Cable Land meeting in the next day or so. You'll be seeing a WhatsApp a Zoom invite. If you can join us
Okay.
on Friday, 2 p.m. UK time, that will be 7 o'clock your time, I believe. Um,
Yeah, I'm in the West Coast. I'm in
okay,
California now, so I don't know
okay,
how it's gonna be.
okay. We'll have to.
I'll try to check the time.
Yes. We're gonna and what we need is we need everybody. And if you're anybody who wants to join, we need you to join. Basically, we are keeping it simple. Know the constitution in your local area. In Igbo language, I need you to translate that for us. We need you to take on that task so that this message can go to the communities, into the very, Nnewi, all the areas that you know. Our people need to know their rights in the language.
And there's something I just wanted to chip in before you give the closing remark. As I was explaining about our people, one of the things we shouldn't forget to keep in mind is that these people are like 400 years ahead of us, and there's something that they wrote in that same Bible where they said, even their books, read it too, because you need to use their book to beat them.
Of
They
course.
say when the end time is coming, the enemy or the devil shall rise against the prophets.
Mm.
Now, that is when Africans begin to rise and get the knowledge to fight their colonizers. We are them now the enemy.
We're not even
the end
gonna.
time,
We're not even gonna fight. You see, that's the thing. We're not. Our
and the
energy is
end
inward
time,
now.
the end time is their end time, is not our end time.
Okay. Yeah, I see what you
And
mean.
it has been crypted.
Mm.
And we see it from that perspective. This is a rising time, and their time is ended where we're gonna rise over them, and Africa will come back. And they tell Christians that when the end time is coming, we the Africans that are rising up to make things better are gonna be the Satan and the bad ones.
Okay. I
It's
see
gonna
what you mean. I see what you mean. So there is a play with the It's a psychology again, isn't it? That's a psychology. I'm
yes.
with you. I get your message. Okay. Okay.
Because they know this time will come. They know
Yes.
the time will come.
Yeah.
When they took our forefathers, they
Yeah.
know that the generation is going to come when that generation will rise and take back what is us with the
Yeah.
knowledge that they have, and this is the
Yeah.
generation.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. So everybody, thank you so much, Mbes. We've been taught. I want to greet everybody. Thank you so much. Vanna May, thank you very much. Miss Lady LJ, thank you. Guan Mama Africa, thanks for joining and your contributions. Money 01, I'm following you, and also we need to contact, and I will send you that link as well. If you can join us on Friday, great. And also inbox me your number. Yeah. And Vanna May, thank you so much. Peace Africa Hope, go and get some rest. Mbes, thank you for joining us. And I mentioned a few names again. Manny O1, thank you. Oye Kodu, Oye Koadu, thank you very much. And 803 Roger, and Seira, Carlos, Padro, Bang, thank you all very much. We're going to be rounding up here. We'll be back again tomorrow. We'll be talking again about the Constitution. Thank you all to bid you all good night. Thank you, and good night to you all. Thank you so much for joining. Please continue to spread the message. Translation of the Constitution in all 55 countries. We are doing it. It will manifest. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Good night, all. Good night. Oh boy. Okay. Guys, thank you so much for you watching me on TikTok, on YouTube. I'll be back later on. We're going to be bringing the broadcast to an end now. I hope you found this beneficial. You can watch the full broadcast all over again. We covered a lot of areas. Our focus on Africa now, we're trying to raise the awareness of our rights and constitution in 100 and in 55 countries for 1.4 billion people. It is already happening. Join us. Join us. It is happening. We translate it into the local languages. We roll out the program, a system. We are building a system where anybody can actually follow that system and use it in communities to empower. We're looking for stakeholders in the communities who we can actually fund to go in and do the work, and also assist them in making sure that the communities, the things they need most, to be able for them to listen, we're able to provide. Donate to us, donate to myself, leave it, just write a constitution, translate the constitution into African languages. Make that as a reference point, and I'll put it on the screen again in the coming days. We can do this. We can, and we are doing it, and we will achieve that. For now, I bid you a good night. Thank you so much for watching.